I'll come back. 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 I'll come back.
The pre-cum cast, okay? I'll do that, you eat, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, just give it like 2 seconds here.
But you'd also take time to do like.
No,
wait.
I got this. Oh, it's live. It is live.
Yeah, okay. Read us in.
Welcome to Flutter Priest and the Barcast. Today we're doing a pre-cum cast before because we're caught in our guest is caught in computer update hell. So while we wait for that to happen, because what would we be without technical difficulties? We'll do that. We're just gonna sit and talk bullshit and talk about some cool stuff that's gonna go on.
Talk about the cool bullshit.
Cool bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of day.
Well,
guys, let's be honest. Let's talk now.
we can't talk about like the coolest.
We're not going to do. No. Let's be honest. Let's talk now because we're not going to get much of a chance over the next 2 hours.
I mean, that's
actually fucking hilarious, and I've never experienced this, so it'll be a new experience for me.
What pre-com cast?
Is it your first Aragon time?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Be ready. The legend says that he breathes and talks at the same time, so he can perpetually spit words out.
He speaks like a didgeridoo. He breathes in through his nose and speaks out through his mouth and never stops.
Is he like that? Is he like that seagull that just inhales and fucking spits out words?
Yes, that is exactly what it is like. That precisely. Does someone want to make an announcement in the announcement thing?
I'll just say and yeah, and then mute my mic and go right
you could literally just take a nap like I do, and you could come back and he will still be mid sentence. I take naps all the time.
Are you awake?
I mean, most of the time I'm awake.
No wonder.
Do you have mild narcolepsy?
I don't think I do. I mean, I've only fallen asleep once at the wheel of a car.
Well, hold on. You've only fallen asleep?
Yes,
You've only fallen asleep.
Fallen asleep, sorry.
So we now know that Milk is a felon.
Yeah, I'm a felon. I mean, technically, because the reason I went to sleep is because I did stupid stuff the night before, but, you know.
Like rob a bank.
No, I got drunk.
Actually is a felon.
I got drunk, so...
Robbing
so is you fallen asleep the reason you're a felon?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So what happened to you falling asleep at the wheel of the car? Did you crash it or?
No, actually, I was in I had my foot on the brake, and since it was doing that? What's the thing? The thing where you turn it on, and you can set the mile per hour, and it's just going cruise control. And I had it on cruise control, so when I fell asleep, all the weight of my foot went down on the brake, and I was sort of listing to the left already. So I just kind of put myself in the median, and before I smacked anything, I had already come to a stop.
And you fell asleep at the wheel just now.
Pretty much. I was just dead asleep, and I woke up, and I'm like, oh, this is a weird place to wake up. What's going on here?
Oh man. Oh fuck. Actually, I have to deal with a drama thing. Crap.
What happened?
What's going on?
Is it very much. No, it's not. It's actually horse drama.
Horse drama? That's my favorite.
Let me ask.
What's up?
If I had to tap one of the people in this room right here on the shoulder to write an anonymous 1,500 word story, 500 to 1,500 word story, would they be willing to?
It depends on what.
It's for Jingle Moss.
Jingle Moss.
Is there something I should be aware of?
It's the Film Fiction Secret Santa gift exchange.
Oh, that's right. I remember it.
If you're looking for me to do it, I cannot right now.
I know you can. I'm actually I'm staring deeply at Flam.
When does it need to be done?
Third? 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
Look at this love we have for each other.
I'm gonna have Petrichord get in touch with you.
All right, just give me I'm assuming he'll give me parameters and what actually needs to be written.
Yes.
I can't write Stella fingering herself, obviously. So
that should be
I probably could if the parameters allow it, but I don't think that's what we're going for Jingle Miss.
Okay.
I need to
Considering
do...
after the casting me writing a shit ton, then yeah, I might as well get more done.
Okay.
How come I'm doing
Then
this?
Petricord from EQD is gonna get in touch with you, and we'll be good.
EQD? I thought this was for film fiction.
It is. It's like a collaboration bullshit thing. It's weird.
Oh god.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
it's.
okay. That's
Yay!
fine. Then no worries, that's fine. I just want to make sure I have the right parameters and shit.
Done.
Because, you know, I always get worried when I have too much creative freedom.
Why is it coming out blurry on the other end with Twitch? Is that just me, or is it actually blurry?
No, it's not. I don't see it being blurry. Does everyone else see it blurry? I see it clear.
It's really high quality.
Oh, okay.
Like-
That's weird. 'cause
Like
for me
it's
blurry
the
as fuck.
highest video definition that like you probably have.
Yeah, let me see.
And maybe from blowing up the
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Discord,
okay,
it
there we
looks
go, there we
good.
go.
But otherwise, like if you expand full screen, it looks great.
For some reason, for me, it looks like it's fucking garbage. But that's okay, because I'll just pause it.
Make sure that...
Okay. Oh, I have a question.
Answer.
Did you
What?
upgrade your monitor with a mirror? Because that would explain.
A mirror.
What?
What?
Because it looks like shit. Because I'm insulting your looks. Oh.
How does that fucking make sense? Kill yourself. What is this?
You
Get
might have just
out.
got burned.
You're
I
a-
almost-
Oh, god damn it, fucking Milk, you just got cyberbullied.
That's. I guess I'll just have to hang myself, and we'll just have to do like some like yearly special thing that everybody will forget about in
you
2
can-
months.
You can drink bleach and
Oh.
tell your story on no cards.
My God, you guys. I
Jeez.
almost-
Lord, I
Almost
would like to.
feel bad.
I would like to apologize for that.
That's okay, because you know what? I still have my Duo's Chicken Dinner that soloed the other day without Priest because I'm awesome. So fuck you.
Priest, I almost felt bad. I almost felt bad about the Flutter Priest in the Barcast comment, but I don't anymore because of what you just did.
Yeah, you just cyberbullied Milk.
Please no bully.
Yeah, please no bully the guys. Please no bully the Milk, or he'll get curdled.
Nah, he'll just turn into butter.
That's
So
way
you'll
that's
churn
that's
Ryan,
that's a
so he'll
little
get
way too
churned.
far.
Giggity.
No.
The drinking word is Aragon talks. Oh my god.
This is how we die.
Until he shows up, that's what it is. Until he gets here, that's what it is.
Oh man! So basically, when he
Jesus
first shows
Christ.
up and we hear his voice, we just start chugging.
Yeah, pretty much. Because when he starts talking, it won't stop.
But just take very incremental sips. Like, just have a steady stream of like 1 drop a second, because you'll probably still die.
Probably.
Priest, so you realize you're the one asking the question, so you're gonna have to like desperately try to intervene and get maybe 4 or 5 questions done in the next 2 hours.
I think I can get 3.
I think
Wait,
that's noble.
how much time is it? Did you say 3 hours?
It's a 2, but you
2,
try
okay.
like 3 questions. No, not 3 hours. Not 3 hours.
I was about to say, like, oh lord.
No, honey, no.
You guys weren't around for when we did like 7-hour casts and 9-hour casts.
Oh, I remember those.
I was there.
Fuck you.
Pencil and I were
Yeah,
both
for
there.
one of them.
I remember when
You-
Pencil was like, "Hey, I got invited onto a pony podcast." I'm like, "What? Why not?"
God damn it, Milk. Fucking curdle yourself.
He was like, but my follower count.
Implying we never cared about follower count.
It was a different time.
I stopped caring about followers once I hit 1,000. Then I'm just like, yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, because it's not like some of us aren't at that milestone yet.
I don't know what
Everyone
you
go
guys
follow
talking
Pencil
about.
right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm barely even at
In the
200.
chat, ladies, you know the procedures.
Rico, you're not going to get 45 follows from the chat. They're all mostly following me already.
You
Exactly.
underestimate my power, Obi-Wan.
I do. I really do. I'm not going to be 1,000 probably until Bab's gone.
It'll happen.
By Bab's gone.
My goal is to just
Oh, yeah.
catch up with Priest again, and we can have a race like we did last time when we were at like 1,200.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a thing for you, Flamin.
What's up?
Check behind the bar or behind the counter. I had a thing for you. I found it.
Ooh, look under the counter. Fucking. Oh, I've seen that one.
Have you? Damn.
Yeah. I have actually seen
Well,
that
I'm
one.
just
It's
singing German again.
behind the counter.
Nah, Flam, you should, like... Flam.
Yes. If you're saying anything, I can't hear you.
You should just sing in German. It's fine. Just sing in German. In German. Singing for the Flam. Flam, singing in German. Because he can do that. And we're not doing anything else right now. So, Flam, singing in German is something you can do.
Oh god. Okay, fine. Let me grab some quick song lyrics.
Literally, we're just waiting here, singing in German until the Spaniard arrives.
Pretty much.
Because the
All right.
chat did say they wanted karaoke, and I'm not willing to sing. So, Flam,
All right. So here, let's
sing
see.
in German.
What do we got here?
Make it quick, bud. You want like something short, something quick.
Die Fahne hoch, die Reihen fest geschlossen. Sie marschiert mit ruhig fenchtstem Schritt. No, that's the Nazi German anthem. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that's that. Good night, everybody. No.
Because I know it would only take like maybe 2 more stanzas for someone to recognize what that was.
Enough, guys. Oh, there's your karaoke chat. There's your karaoke. We had Flam sing.
We'll do a true karaoke. Maybe we do the maybe at Babs, so we're all actually legit drunk in front of each other.
Like,
Live
so-
karaoke.
I still have that one book.
I feel like we need to take time at Babs, like 2 actual hours. Like, block it off. We're not going to any panels. We just hang out in the room and we have booze, and we just turn on the stream and we bullshit. And we don't care what we do. We don't have to interact with the stream like a whole hell of a lot, but like we can do react videos. We can just tell stories.
I've still got that one book, that My Little Brony.
Oh,
the My
Little Brony.
Brony. Yes, that one.
I vote stories and Life of a Brony.
But here's the thing. We need to make sure that people actually want to watch this. So, guys, do you want to watch us actually live in person, not just voice, but actually us be shits?
How many pages?
Why?
And more than a potato camera, that was a what did we do it on last time? A GoPro?
A laptop.
And with like a 1 kilobyte connection.
Yes, you guys do want to see it? Okay, so we'll do that at BabsCon. We're not doing the water react priest. I don't know why you specifically mentioned that one, because we're not cleaning up that hotel room. We're not cleaning up that hotel room.
water reacts.
You
I said
did.
watch reacts.
I
Watch.
can go actually see, like,
WATCH.
Yeah,
Watch
You suggest-
reacts.
the other chat, you suggest to try not to laugh with water.
Oh.
I remember.
I don't mind that,
hotel
but
room,
we better get a bunch of towels in front of us.
I'm not doing that.
Nah,
I'm not
you'd
cleaning
all
that up.
lose. You would all
Well,
lose.
Exactly.
We got to be careful how we word that, because now that's going to be taken, edited, and turned into sound like a circle jerk.
Well, we are that. We are exactly that. That is what
I
we
mean,
do.
a real circle jerk.
Ew.
With like actual
my
circle,
point
with like an actual circle on actual jerking.
That is something that's happening.
Oh, that is something that's happening. Oh, joy.
You know the procedure.
Pencil's just like, I got the dog dick. I'm good.
We're good, man. We're good. I've got lots of holes and a dog dick. I'm quite happy. No, I don't really want that even a little bit at all. No, BabsCon orgy, please. No, please. There's not enough. Unless some of you are willing enough to give your sweet anuses to each other, that's way too many dicks for me to handle.
But can we share enemas?
No
I'm
sharing enemas in wine glasses.
I mean, I'm sure we can conscript a couple women at Babs.
Milk. No sharing enemas in wine glasses. We discussed at the BronyCon. Okay?
Everybody thought it was a good idea then.
I'm still sad I missed that.
Good
And we'll always have singing like nonstop in the halls at BronyCon to "Don't Stop Believin'" BronyCon status style.
Oh Jesus, we still need to publish.
Oh, and we did whoa, for the longest time.
Yeah, we all walked on home for the longest time together. That wasn't weird at all.
Like we had
Gee, how's
harmonies and shit.
Did his fucking did his update brick his computer?
Basically, oh my goodness.
No, he didn't write anything, but he's not there's no update giggity on that.
Yeah,
so.
like he said he was 2% away, and now he's just.
Yeah,
All the percent
It might
away.
have crashed.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to be without Aragon for this cast? Is it just going to be us doing karaoke finally?
well, what can we talk about? Because we have a lot of shit we're working on.
I know, but
we could do that. We can talk that. We can do stories.
We can't talk about the big thing.
We've got the second big thing for January.
Can we talk about? Yeah,
I have no idea what you're.
We can't.
I'm not sure what you're referring to when you say the big thing.
I'll let you in later on. It's cool because we can't say a name. We can't say a name.
We can't say a name, but can we say what they have?
Yes, we can.
Not exactly what they have done, but tangentially say that they have.
We can say how they're sort of involved in such and such.
Okay.
Because I literally have no idea what you guys are talking about.
No, I'll just allow.
Or maybe I do and I don't recognize it.
I'll
Flam,
I'll poke you in a side chat.
Okay.
All
right, looks like Enigma's coming on.
I'd say no I know Barcast is a long ways off, guys. So
oh, that one. Oh, God, that one.
The dating sim thing. No, it's going to be a while, guys. Sorry.
That would be hilarious, honestly.
It's in the works. It's just going to take a long time because, like, my life is full of shit.
All right, there's Enigma.
Hey.
It's a baby Enigma.
A piece of actual garbage. I've missed
some
sludge bucket.
Hey, we finally have our shit sponge to wipe on the walls now.
And everybody, welcome back, Enigma. Everybody say welcome back, Enigma.
Welcome
like
back.
Being disconnected from the internet, I feel like that guy from The Simpsons who was in the freezer for like a week. And he came out and saw a moon pie and thinks it's future.
Instantly comes on and makes a fucking reference.
Of course he does. God. Well, why, you garbage human.
There is no God. Okay.
Where's the guest? Do we not do guests anymore? What happened since
You're
my
the
exile?
guest! You're the guest, Enigma! Surprise!
No, Aragon's got his computer updating, so we're sitting around just bullshitting. We're just finding things to talk about.
Let's actually hype up January a little bit.
So, like,
Okay.
how do we hype that up? Because
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Here is kind of our coming cast for the next few weeks. Next week, we have Cinewolf or Cinewolf. I don't know exactly how it's
Sinwolf?
I say Sinwolf, yeah.
Cinewolf. Cinewolf would be on. They're an extremely awesome person, and be sure to do some good questions for that particular cast. Then the week after that, is that Christmas weekend? Kind of.
Yes, where we have because it's the 22nd is Sinwolf, and then 29th is when we bullshit cast, and then the following week is when January starts.
No.
What?
15th is Sinwolf.
What?
Okay.
And then 22nd is Fiara.
Oh, that's right, because we moved everything up for that. That's right. I remember.
Who the
Yes.
fuck is who?
We have Queen Quake.
Fiara
Queen
is
Quake.
Queen Quake.
Oh shit! Okay.
The BabsCon mascot.
Oh god, it's on a Friday. Am I gonna fucking miss that? Yeah, it is. Okay, fuck it. Whatever.
Get there partway through, maybe? Like, come on in.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I shall do my best.
The 29th is going to be a relax week for all of us. We're going to do just kind of interview the Barcast, I think.
Secret Santa? Or...
Well, we kind of have that one in TBA until we figure out what's going on with
Secret Santa.
Yeah, Enigma and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then what happens in January, Priest?
So January is going to be a lot of fun because we are working very closely, and Milk is a good friend over at the High Roller PonyCon chat, if anyone is a fan of that. High Roller PonyCon is a PonyCon that is occurring in June?
Yeah, like the last day of
Las
May.
Vegas, Nevada, United States.
June?
And it's not shit. They actually have their shit together this time. It's a Las Vegas con that's not going to fall apart horribly.
It's true. Each week of January is going to be interviewing a particular high-ranking member or organizer of that convention, and then ending the convention, we actually have the opportunity to interview one of their big guests. And we can't discuss it right now, but we can say... Well, can we say that?
We can say that they work on the show a bit.
Yes, they work on the show. That is exactly what we can say.
And they are not just a production intern.
They're not just coffee bitches.
We're actually interviewing somebody who works on the My Little Pony show. You know what this means?
How the fuck did we get here? How did we get here?
If you say,
they're working
if you
against
say
SWAT.
hashtag horse famous.
Hashtag horse famous.
Guys, I feel like I left the podcast at Pokemon Daycare and forgot my Pokemon card for a year, only to come back to this. Suddenly, such milestones were taken in my absence.
Do you just speak in references now, Enigma?
Yeah, that's all he does. He doesn't know how to into humans anymore.
You went on a pilgrimage and now you're just like that
Wasn't there a
rugged.
character
You're just that
that-
rugged dude that speaks in similes and metaphors.
Yeah, there was.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Yes.
My
yes.
beard is gone.
What? You shaved it?
It is.
How will
I-
you look like Monkey Man?
It'll be back by then.
Actually, while I was getting a shave from my barber, without saying anything, he gave me a Hitler.
Nice.
Oh, that's
I think they
rude.
always do. I think they always do that. To be honest, if you
I
have
took-
the type of hair to. To be
I
completely
took
honest.
the picture. I took a picture and I sent it to Davis.
Oh, did you take it? I want to see the picture. I want to
Yeah,
see
you guys
it.
want to see?
You need to show this
Yeah.
picture right now.
Yeah.
Put it in the fucking chat right now.
I'm
This is not
grabbing it.
negotiable.
There's two pictures actually.
Post it.
Copy.
Pick one.
Post it in the behind the counter.
Behind the
Yeah,
counter.
I'm still gonna show it on stream. Doesn't matter.
Oh, that's what you meant. That's what you meant.
I did.
Enigmatic Hitler!
I like
And
it. I like
you're
it.
changing your name!
Can I be Can I be Charlie Chaplin instead?
No, no. As I just captioned, you're Adolfo Hitlerio.
I'm done.
This isn't gonna get us fucked on
See,
Twitch,
all
right?
this awesome pony stuff that we're planning on doing next year, that's not gonna happen
Yeah, like
if we turn out to be anti-Semitic.
yeah.
What is
Let's
going
not
on?
show that constantly. Let's not show that for more than 2 seconds.
Mind you, I think we have enough diversity in this group where we'll be okay.
We have our token minorities.
No,
We have our token minorities.
because Alex is gonna turn this into an emoji. Because that's a fucking point.
Yes.
God damn it! Please don't do anything that'll get
Also-
the PC horde on us.
Also,
Please don't.
guys,
Guys! Brian says Hitler-matic otaku.
I still
Also-
think he's Adolfo.
Adolfo.
Adolfo
Also-
Hitlerio, because it's
also,
hilarious.
guys,
What?
I was at the
What's-
zoo earlier today and I found my father there.
What?
Was he in the gorilla cage?
There's a picture. Hold on, let me get my cousin to give it to me.
A dog's ass.
Okay, Aragon's here now, so he should be signing on soon.
Real quick. Be real quick about it.
I'll
Here comes our
give
guest, everybody.
And here he comes. Here he is, Miss America.
Mr. Spain. That's better.
Mr. Spain?
Senor España.
Okay, finally I can hear you. Sorry for running here late. Like I had
Windows
a little
update,
emergency. Yeah, a little emergency Windows update that I didn't approve. But my computer thought that it was, necessary to do it like right the fuck now, whether I liked it or not. Sorry, are we live right now? Live?
We are live.
See.
We are live.
See.
We are
actually
live.
We were
No, we are
shitposting.
like-
We were shitposting while we waited.
I forgot that you're a
Anyways.
filibuster, Aragon.
Aragon, just give us a moment. Priest will do a really quick reading and we can start proper. Priest, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello and welcome to the Barcast, where the bar gets lower every week. Your bartenders for this evening will be a non-pencil, Flamin' Warfer, Enigmatic Otaku, Milk, Ravage, and of course, the wonderful Aragon is our guest for this week. And for those who haven't tuned in and watched before, this week we have an Aragon, which means we're going to be talking really fast, and that's kind of our big deal. If we talk fast, you make sure that you drink. We are a user-submitted podcast where you submit for the guests, and then we submit, or no, we don't submit the questions. You submit the questions, and we ask the guests the questions, and we then make them miserable for 2 hours. We are also watching the questions that are on the Twitch channel right now as you guys post them.
No, not this week. No, we're not. It's fine.
So you can ask how big Aragon's steak is as much as you want, but we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be asking any of those questions. But Aragon's a repeat guest. Aragon, hi.
Hey there, you're suffocating. We haven't even started the podcast and you're already suffering, which is, I guess, for my speech, my reputation. I was going to say, I was actually going to make an effort of speaking a little slower than usual, a little quieter than usual, because it's 1:30 in the morning when I sleep, where I live. I'm fuck it, I go to sleep at 5 a.m. every single day, I have no life. No, I was going to say, I was going to make an effort of speaking softly and quietly and slowly so you guys could get a breather. But then I joined I was actually already in there, the Barcast chat, where I'm never there, right? But I'm actually... I never go to the Discord, but I'm there already. And I was just checking the backlog because I was bored while waiting at the doctor's office. And I see a guy called Emu, right? Who's like, oh my fucking god, this week's guest is Aragon. God, I hate the guy. His stories are nice, or he's fucking horrible. He never got the fuck up. His last podcast was horrible. And I was like, well, this is nice. So I'm correct. I'm going to dedicate this podcast to this guy. Because I'm pretty sure that if he's on listening, he will probably listen at one point or somebody will tell him. And just for that, I'm going to be an asshole and speak as fast as possible during the podcast just because of that. Because, I'm not a petty man myself, but I was like, okay, well, this is a challenge now. Now, really, it was actually fun. The first time I go to this Discord in ages, in actual ages, and I see the guy going no, he's nice as a person, I guess, but his podcasts fucking suck. I was like, well, I mean, he's not wrong. He's not supposed to say it. Is he aware that I'm in this chat, that I can actually see this? And immediately fucking chat Penguin Lips, one of the story approvers in the website, in case somebody doesn't know him, immediately he adds me, he calls for me, so he appears. I'm like, oh, so they know I'm here, they just don't care about hurting my feelings, which again is perfectly reasonable, but shit, you're not supposed to say it. So yeah, I guess this is the dedication for the chat. Also, can I get a link to the chat or to the podcast or to anything? Because this came in here after turning on the computer, and I was supposed to link it to my friends, but my laptop was offline for 3 hours. So yeah.
I will post. I'll also post a link to the questions so you can see those. It looks like the guys have it under control.
Yeah, give me a moment. So okay, I'm going to post this. This is a riveting podcast already. I'm 30 minutes later. The first 3 minutes is just fuffing because I don't have the link. Okay, podcast is... Oh fuck, I accidentally opened the Twitch page and I could hear myself speaking with 5 seconds of latency. I have the most horrible accent.
I'm gonna cry again like last time, guys.
I have tears of joy this time because I'm ready. I'm prepared.
Yeah, we're prepped now.
You were all warned last time, okay? You asked me to come in here, and everybody was like, okay, you are aware that this guy talks a lot and really fast and has an undecipherable fucking accent. You are aware of that, right? And I remember Priest being fuck it, how hard can it be? No, for real. He's going to give you a rough time. Nah.
I missed your last cast, so this is pretty cool.
It's kind of like at high school, someone's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm gonna kick you in the dick in third period," and you're like, "Yeah, sure." And then all of a sudden, in between second and third period, you hear someone down the like down the hall going, "I'm gonna kick you in the dick," and then all of a sudden now you're scared.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm going to try to behave because last time I didn't feel bad about this because like I'm like an asshole of a person, but I remember finishing the podcast and like being like, they didn't have a good time. Like nobody was laughing here. Milk loved it. Milk fucking loved it. I remember Milk like laughing super hard. And coming to me.
Milk just like lost it several times.
All right, I'm gonna get water. I'll be right back.
Like he came to me afterwards, was like, dude, I never talked during the podcast, so being able to see everybody else be in the exact same position as me was wonderful. You need to come back. And I was like, well, so, I was like, well, somebody enjoyed it. I suppose that's what I was expecting. Yeah, and I remember that podcast. It was really, really fun. I remember that I was the one, that emo guy who said that, oh, fuck Aragon is the case. I'm going to keep bringing him up now and then just in case he pops up. He was like, who the fuck had the idea of bringing this asshole again? And that is a funny thing to ask because I actually think that it was my own idea. I just went to Milk in another server and I was like, you motherfucker, when am I going back to the Barcast? And he was like, well, I guess now you are, like, I don't know, next month or something. Nobody invited me. I just said,
bro, right? No, I told Milk like a month ago, like, hey, go ahead and just schedule December. Don't even worry about it. I don't care who's on.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, okay, I'm getting Aragon. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it.
Speaking of a schedule, please ask a question, motherfucker!
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that.
Aragon,
I forgot. Yes.
who are you? What have you done for the fandoms?
So, very little. I'm like a fucking nobody. Like, is this a question from the podcast, or is this because nobody knows who I am? I'm
These
like
are actual interview questions. We start every podcast with actual interview questions.
Asking who I am. Well, one of the authors of this website, because this is a website for writers. So either you're a writer or you're not in here, so I guess that means nothing. I don't know, just some fucking cunt from Spain who just got popular on accident. So now I'm here and I just go to the podcast in this fandom and just annoy the shit out of the hosts for 2 or 3 hours in a row, and then I disappear for like 2 years. This has happened like a couple of times already, so it's sort of like a pattern. Right, the winner of the last Barcast contest. That's what I am. That's a good presentation, I think. Sorry if I sound a little bit fuffy right now, but again, I was sort of in a hurry. I had to do a lot of stuff in the last 3 hours, and then my laptop died, so I'm kind of still setting up a little bit. Give me a moment to reconfigure myself. Yeah, the winner of the last Barcast contest. Let's say that. That's who I am. A writer who actually managed to win. That was cool, actually. It was the 3rd contest this summer. For one reason or another, this summer I entered 3 different contests. Right, I wasn't planning on any of them. I just accidentally joined. Otaku is like posting on the chat that nobody in the Discord can see. And he just said, I can't retain any information he's giving whatsoever. Like immediately.
Enigma, you speak Spanish. How can you fucking not understand his accent?
Oh my fucking god!
Enigma, you're Mexican.
Can I? Am I the only one that can understand him just fine?
No, I'm fine.
No, I'm fine. I'm good.
No, it's just overload. It's information overload.
You did. You won.
So you look like Hitler for one day,
contest.
and you can't understand Spanish anymore.
That was at Enigma, by the way. You don't look like Hitler, Aragon. Not that I know of. If you do, then I'm concerned.
No, trust me, Pyrrha does not look like fucking Hitler. So, all right.
No, I've actually seen a photo of Enigma because he posted it on the Discord. He does look like Hitler. That is like actually really good.
Well, he
I know nothing about this guy. It's just
Give him a regular picture of me for reference. I don't want him thinking about Hitler.
No, that's it. That's you for now on.
It's literally like, I think we've talked once, Enigma, like in our entire lives. In the last podcast, maybe you were there. I know nothing about you. I just
last time you were there.
Yeah. Oh, you were there? Well,
Yeah, I was
I
in
don't
Ryan.
think.
One.
Weeping openly.
Oh yeah, you were the one who were crying. Well, to be honest, like people who cry in my presence of the a dime a dozen. You need to be way more specific if you want me to remember you. But yeah, no, like the only thing I know about you really is that you really look like Hitler. Like I saw the photo and I was like, who is this guy? Why does he look like Hitler? And then
Wait,
I see
hold
the
Aragon,
name was
does
like,
that mean do you not know any stories that Enigma has written?
probably not. I don't really read that much lately.
Good.
I just write.
Good.
So he doesn't know about my story that just got over 2,000 likes.
No, fuck off. We don't
no
care.
one gives a shit.
Oh, you have one story. You have one story that got over 1,000 likes. I would ask you to tell us
Over
about that, but I don't give a shit.
2,000.
So
Over
okay.
2,000. Over 2,000.
Oh,
You
shit!
still
That is
have-
really neat, especially in nowadays film fiction. Earlier in the fandom, it was kind of easier to get an over 1,000 likes story. Over 2,000 is like big league, man. Which story is this? How do I not know of it? Is it like weird
It's-
porn or something like that?
It's my
Yes,
dragon.
it's definitely
It's
porn.
exactly that. It's exactly that.
It's porn. It's
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
I wonder if I should look it up, but probably not.
Yes. Yeah, you probably should. And you should read it. Speed read it right there.
I'm on it.
Speed read it.
Boom.
Priest. Next question. Go.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Aragon,
that's
how did
just
you get into the fandom?
I just watched the show, as pretty much anybody, I suppose. I mean, I knew of the show. Oh, look, Priest actually sent a link. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. No, yeah, I just knew of the fandom because I was into fucking anime back in the day, and a lot of the people in the forums that I roamed randomly started having like pony avatars, so I just got interested. And as I am kind of a pussy and kind of effeminate myself, I was like, oh, this looks cute and emasculating. I would probably be super into it. So I just marathoned the entirety of the show in 2 weeks. In like a weekend, I think. I marathoned the entirety of the first season, and when I finished that, the second season was already starting. And that is actually how I learned English, kind of, because My Little Pony was the first show that I've ever watched in English. And before I did that, I really didn't know the language that well, so I had to watch it with subtitles, with Spanish subtitles. But by the time that I got to the second season, which again had literally just started, I think I finished the first season on the very day that season 2 aired. I was like, well, the next 2 episodes are online already, but they have no Spanish subtitles, so I guess I know English now, and I just started watching them without subtitles. And that is honestly how I learned to speak English. I taught myself because of this bullshit. So
Everyone, Rosetta
Okay.
Stone confirmed inferior to My Little Pony.
Okay, no, I have a really interesting question here. Since you learned English from My Little Pony, were there any English words that you had to look up? Like, what are these fucking American assholes using this word for? You had to like look up a word. Like, which ones? Like, are there any that stick out?
The one that fucked me up the most, I remember, was hoofsies.
Hoofsies!
You know.
Oh my
when
Oh
Pinkie,
God.
when Pinkie Pie sings, we kept our hoofsies warm at home during winter wrap up. I remember having to write that shit down, like asking my fucking English teacher, because I knew a little bit of English because of high school. Okay, English is mandatory, but like I think Spanish is mandatory for USA students too.
No.
And, like most of you don't know.
Depends
No?
on the state.
Yeah, foreign
No,
languages, but
you
most
actually
people-
get to
most
choose
people
between
are.
Spanish and German and Latin.
Well, it depends
Mm.
where you are. In Los Angeles, it's mainly between Spanish and French, but everyone chooses Spanish because everyone in the state speaks fucking
Yeah,
Spanish
speak
anyways.
Spanish. Yeah, that would make more
Actually-
sense.
SoCal, they also have American Sign Language as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, really? American Sign Language. That is so cool. Yeah, I was talking with my brother about this the other day. Is sign language like depends on the country, right? Like if I know Spanish Sign Language and I try to speak to an American Sign Language speaker, we won't be able to understand each other.
Nope, it's like actual
It's like a-
language. There's
actual
even
language.
there's even dialects, quote unquote,
Mhm.
between where you are in the country.
No, it's
It's
actually so cool. That is super cool. That's pretty cool that they teach that at school. No, but yeah, I knew a little bit of English because of high school. But like, it was the most basic shit. Like a little bit of basic grammar, the present tense, some couple verbs, the verb to be, for example, a couple conjugations like the past and the future, the simple ones, but not a lot. You couldn't really communicate. I could say my favorite color, but that is about it. And then I started watching the show and listening to music in English, and I couldn't understand some words, so I would just write them down and ask my teacher, because some of them you can learn because of the internet, but what the fuck does hoofsie mean? Back in the day, you fucking wrote hoofsie on the goddamn Google Translator, and it was impossible to know what it meant. Also because I didn't have like the transcript of the episode. I just heard Pinkie Pie saying something like hoofsie. I was like, okay, first of all, how the fuck do you write this weird sound that came out of her mouth? Second of all, this is a song, so maybe she's not pronouncing it right, because sometimes they mangle words to rhyme them. Third of all, what the fuck does this mean? Can I ask about this to my English teacher, or will it be like a fucking weird ass awkward question? Because if you go to your English teacher and say, hey, sorry, Mrs., but what does some pony mean? She's gonna take it.
It's true. It's very fucking true.
Yeah, so it was like, what the fuck? And I actually had to ask her. I actually had to tell her the word. Like, they say, we keep our hoofsies. She was like, well, hoofsie means pezuñita. Like, the Spanish translation. I was like, from hoof. Yeah, from hoof. Yeah. Where the fuck did you learn this? I was like, you don't really want to know? At one point, she stopped asking me where I got these questions from, because like in the middle of a class, I would just raise my arm and ask for the meaning of a word that was nowhere in the tale that we were reading or in the lesson we were given. And she actually, I think she hated me by the end of the year, because it was like so fed up. Jeopardize was another one. Jeopardize to...
So did there come a point where you raised your hand and asked the teacher, excuse me, teacher, what does clop mean?
Thank fucking God I didn't do that, because, well, I mean, club has a meaning outside of the fandom, so she would have said an onomatopoeia, but yeah, thank God. Sorry, what is FAP? Like the word F-A-P, what does it mean? Because I keep seeing it related to, horses. Is it like something related to the leg or something like that? And I never asked that. But yeah, by the end of the year, she fucking hated me. She fucking hated the shit out of me. But I was her best student because I could actually speak in English, weird words and hoofs aside. So it was kind of cool. But yeah, jeopardize and hoofsy are the two words that fuck me up the most, because it was impossible to find the meaning.
Okay.
So next question now. Yeah.
If there's one thing that you could say to your followers, your fans, or your haters, what would it be?
I think to all of them, just fuck off. Like, just out of principle. If I'm talking to my followers and my haters at the same time, that like the Venn diagram between my followers and people who fucking hate me is a perfect circle. So I think just saying fuck off to all of them is the most effective way to deal with them. Because yeah, I love my audience, but seriously, just fuck off. Like every single one of you forever, because it's fucking torture. Other people post a blog in which they explain how they are sick or they are having health trouble and stuff like that, and they get like, oh my god, sorry, and oh my god, like I hope you're well. I posted a blog in which I explained that I was like practically a zombie because I was disintegrating like physically, like my skin was rotting off and falling down. Like you push me into a fucking pool and I'm an Alka-Seltzer. Like I was like a pill that just dissolves in water, but like in air. It was horrible. I posted that on my blog and how I sometimes forget to eat. And like I got like, I think 50 comments telling me that I'm a fucking idiot for forgetting how to eat or for being sick. And I was like, the worst thing is that I can see how I deserve this, but still, guys, can you like at least give me a little? Oh look, Enigma posted another picture in which he doesn't quite look that much as Hitler. Little bit, like, you like a mustache.
Much like Hitler.
It's that much like Hitler.
Oh, and that is pencil in the picture. So it does not look like Hitler. If I had to choose which one of the two of you looked more like Hitler, would be Enigma, like, definitely. You don't look American. You look sort of similar, yeah.
I asked for a glass of juice.
Fucking shave the mustache, man. It's not that difficult. Like, you broke this into yourself.
I'm a 5 o'clock shadow right now.
Yeah, in the picture, but not in real life. You can fool any of us. Anyway, so yeah, my audience, yes, I love them, but fuck off.
Next question is, what is best pony?
Oh, fuck, Pinkie Pie. I can just answer that without rambling, just thinking about it. Like I could go on and why. I have this index that I like to talk about. If you go to the official film fiction Discord, you can actually ask anybody and they will tell you that I will never shut up about this. I have this system in which you can objectively choose which pony is the best one. Like objectively, you don't have to say, oh no, this is just your opinion or your personal things. No, this is science. This is like for real. I rate the ponies in how they would react to getting punched in the face. Right? So let's say Fluttershy. Fluttershy, you fucking deck her and she's down. Like she's not there to get up. Like she's the worst pony because of that. Because she is not able to stand one punch.
To be fair, she also couldn't withstand a leaf falling on her.
Pretty much, like she's the worst regarding this. And some people.
Why is a criteria for worst pony being able to take a hit?
Because
this is some weird kinky bedroom shit.
No, because it's the most objective way of measuring this, okay? You need some kind of way to like test it many times, just be scientific for once in your life, priest. Fluttershy doesn't stand a punch to the face. This is a fact. So she's down. First one to go. She's the worst one. And some people actually try to argue. Some people try to argue this and say, no, but Fluttershy, she's friends with a bear. So if you punch you're going to get killed. And I say, yes, but that only means that the bear is actually better at being a pony than Fluttershy. So you only hated my argument with that shit. So she's the worst pony by half. Okay, Enigma, you were trying to say something?
Yes. You're giving me this idea where Twilight determines your friendship levels by punching you, and she does this over and over as a control.
Pretty much. See, and the thing is, Fluttershy would just go down on the first hit. She would be like, I'm sorry, we're not friends anymore, but your bear looks nice. Just bring it over here next time we need to fight a monster because you're fucking useless. Okay, so she's down. Now, Rarity. I love Rarity, okay? Like, she's one of the best characters in the show, but would she take a punch? This is actually a hard question, because with Fluttershy, it's super easy to see that she cannot take a fucking punch to the face, right? Like, she's objective.
You're the one that wrote Rarity saying, ladies don't start fights, but they can end them.
That's a quote from Aristocats.
That's a quote from Aristocats. Yeah.
No, sorry.
It's Aristocats.
It was in your story! That's the point I was making! I'm not saying it originated the phrase! I'm not saying that I was the first person to say, hey baby, wanna suck these nuts? I don't know, man!
Also, would Rarity be able to make the black eye work? Like, would you be able to work that into fashion?
Oh, black eye. I thought you said black guy. I was like, oh god.
Not the black guy.
Yeah, actually, the black eye is a way harder question because a black guy, you know that she would, but like, I mean, push comes to shove, she can like cosplay as a cow, which I think is actually a fetish thing, or you can, or like a panda, or just like a butter wife or something. I fucking know, she's right. She would just put on makeup. She would just put on makeup and make it work. We just punch her other eye to be like perfectly symmetrical. And if it bothers her that much, she can just get bruises all over her body by, say, tumbling down a cliff repeatedly because she can take it, unlike Fluttershy, who's fucking useless. So, the bruises even out. She's completely black and not just the eye. No, probably make it work.
Okay.
So
other than pleasantly asking that you need to make the punch test a story, that needs to be a story. We're gonna go on to questions from the actual chat, the actual thread. So we're going to random E 284.
I was actually thinking more a blog post than a story in which I explain why every pony is in each part of the list. Because Fluttershy is bottom, but the rest are trickier, right? Like, Fluttershy is the worst, that is objective. But, like, who is better at taking a punch? Applejack or Rainbow Dash? You actually need to think about this, like, long and hard. So it's one of those things that I think a blog post around 7,000 words will be enough to explain this extremely complicated concept, I feel. But I think it will enlighten the fandom a little bit. It will put down one of the oldest questions in the entire, since the show started, which one is the best pony? I think we can actually manage to answer that question for real. Just shut up, and yeah.
Aragon, I think you would be great at speed dating.
Priest, question go! Priest, question go!
Okay,
go.
feel the music! Feel the fucking music! music. What is your favorite music genre? And that is not how you pronounce rock or metal, silly, from Random E284.
I used to be super into metal, heavy metal, power metal, and every kind of metal. Screamo, fuck screamo in high school. But like as I grew up, I sort of grew out of it. To be honest, I would like to say the bland and unoriginal question of, oh, guy, I just listen to everything, like I don't have a favorite genre, but that would be a lie. Like I really like rock. I really do like rock. Like not just as a musical genre, but like as an idea, right? Like the idea of an entire, I don't know, just rock. I can ramble about this, but like I'm going to ramble about a lot of things. Better not to be music because it's a kind of a complicated thing to say. I studied music for 6 years at the conservatory. I can actually play a couple instruments. Classical music is okay, kind of boring. Rock is like sometimes more about the expression of the message than about the general chat, the invisible. Oh, somebody joined a different voice chat in the Discord, in the Barcast Discord by accident, I think.
That was Davis. He did it by accident.
I see. Maybe he was trying to join the podcast. Anyway, yes, rock and roll, I suppose, is the easiest one, but it's the coolest one by far. I mean, heavy metal is kind of boring, kind of bland at one point. It's just guys trying to be manly. So it's like, okay. Or girls trying to be girly or the feminine object. It's just badass people or people who are not badass trying to be badass. Just gets boring after a while. Some people are actually good at metal, I suppose. They like Manowar, even if it's just for nostalgia's sake, but just rock and roll or pop punk or pop or whatever is girlier. Okay, next question.
All right. Randomy now says, fuck, I just wrote a 500 plus word thing about you finding a corpse and being able to fuck it and then stopping right before the good part, and I wrote it for you, but it's so long. What a shame. You would have loved it, dear Aragon. If you all want me to, I'll put it here in case you have some time after all the questions above. I'll even add more to it, just for you, maybe. Even if I won't find it, even if I don't have time for it on the podcast, I'll send it over for you. Hee we don't have time for it. Sorry. Snow, yes or no?
Is this how this guy asks questions, or did he just have a stroke in the middle of the comment? I didn't quite know how to follow on it.
Yes, the answer is yes to all of that. He did both. This is his usual self, but I'm pretty sure he also had a stroke. Please continue.
Oh, Randomy just put a sad face in the chat. Right after he said that.
Oh my god, he's actually listening to this. Yeah, no, he had a stroke in the middle of this. Like, this is... oh, look. Oh my fucking god, Amos is back. Oh my god, Amos is back on the chat. And he's like, okay. Oh my god, he talks way too much. And then somebody else is like, you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. And then he left. Fuck, I want this guy to come back. Does anybody have this guy as a friend? I want him to join the podcast.
Easy now, easy.
You keep saying Amos, but it's pronounced emus. And it's
Emus.
really... Yes, it's actually really silly. Anyway, Snow, yes or...
My god, he left. I'm so sad now. Holy shit. I was totally expecting him to watch this.
Snow, yes or no?
Snow is nice. It never snows in Spain, or at least it never snows where I live, because I live close to the sea. So it's kind of nice. I would say yes, I suppose. Wait, does he mean snow as in snow, or snow as in cocaine, or does this have like a deeper meaning? Did he just forget how to ask a question again?
No, there's no... There's no deeper meaning. It's just snow, yes or no. Next question is, why did you start writing?
What the fuck? Okay, so we have a guy who, first of all, rambles about some kind of weird vor corpse fucking story instead of asking me a question. They asked me about snow, and now he actually asks a real question. Does this guy have any kind of like pattern or something, or is he just typing random words? Like, what is the system here? Okay, anyway,
he could be asking you about cocaine, because another street name for cocaine is snow.
I was saying that, like, maybe snow is about cocaine. You know, if he's asking me about cocaine, it would really not be the first time that somebody assumes that I'm high on cocaine for absolutely no reason. Because, you know, when somebody's like high on it, they tend to sort of be really like fidgety and speak really fast and like never shut up and like be kind of annoying. You know, more than once somebody has looked at me. Yeah, somebody has looked at me more than once. I'm gone like, are you... you know,
you can use your speed talking powers for good. You could only learn the major modern general, or you can learn that.
Yeah, I never learned. I'm horrible at rapping. That's the thing. This is going to sound. Yeah, it's going. I'm horrible at rapping or like singing shit like that. This is going to sound hilarious, but I'm really bad at singing fast, right? Because I can speak fast because I pronounce the words wrong, right? And
Modern
I
Major
stumble over
General
my
is
words.
not a rap. It's Solomon.
It's not.
Solomon
It's
and
not. It's not rap, but it's close enough. It's like trying to sing their singing parts of Hamilton. Yeah, some of them are not technically rap, but you still need to learn how to rap to do them, right? It's like when you try to sing really, really fast, you really need to have some kind of like vocalization technique, and I like that. I don't know, maybe you guys haven't noticed that I cannot fucking pronounce words. Like maybe you didn't get the memo, but it's actually really hard for me to do that. Like if I'm just speaking, I can just say it wrong, and if you understand me because of context or because of the rhythm of the sentence, then it works well. And if I am buttering up a word a little too hard, repeat it or stumble up on my words and sound like a fucking idiot, right? But in a song, if you miss it, you miss it. You need to continue, and I'm horrible at that. I'm even bad at it in Spanish too, to be completely honest. And I speak way faster in Spanish than I speak in English. I think somebody asked me that later on, or I don't know if it was in the chat or in the thread. Somebody asked me if I speak as fast in Spanish as I speak in English. And I actually do. The thing is, when I listen to myself speaking, I do not hear myself speaking way too fast. During the first podcast that we had in here, right, when you were still the good Human in Equestria podcast, I remember that at one point I was like, I'm not speaking this fast. Like, you guys are exaggerating. You know, I'm not really that much of a motor mouth. And you all called me a fucking asshole. Yeah, I was like, oh,
I got a question. I got a question. Hey, hold on. I got a question.
Yes.
Have you seen any of Gabriel Iglesias, any of his skits?
No, that I'm aware of. That name doesn't ring a bell, so no. Why?
Okay, so he's a Mexican comedian. He's a Mexican comedian, and he does this really fast, very, very rapid Spanish-speaking impression of a Mexican radio DJ. And I was just thinking, you know, if you speak faster in Spanish than you do in English, you could probably apply for that job and get, like, all the day's news out in 5 minutes.
Probably, yeah. I do speak way faster in Spanish, but that's the thing. When you speak fast, you don't really hear yourself speaking that fast, right? I do hear myself as if I was speaking way slower. But then I listen to recordings of myself, and it's fucking unbelievable. And I'm like, holy fucking Christ, this is like 3 hours of me doing this? And people were there, and they were listening to this.
People were crying to this?
Fucking amazing, I swear to God. Yeah, no, that's what I'm trying to, slightly slower than usual. Because I do understand myself perfectly, but I understand that between my accent and the fact that I keep fucking firing the words as if I was a machine gun, it can be kind of hard to pierce through this gigantic wall of information that means nothing, because on top of that, I ramble a lot, so I will start talking about something, and then I'll start talking about something else, and then about something else, and it's like a branching path, right? And like 5 minutes into the conversation, I've been rambling nonstop. I haven't stopped to breathe, and I'm talking about something completely different from what we were started talking, and it's like fucking confusing for everybody, especially for me.
We're moving on to the next question.
Okay. Now and then, I stop, and I like give you a moment to like reply, and it's like 5 seconds of silence, and it's like, are they trying to understand what I just said, or are they just blinking in confusion, like, what did he stop now?
I mean, Aragon, while you're talking here, I'm organizing my stock portfolio on the side.
You like to have the money for stocks, you little shit. Anyway,
You stock shelves.
Please go.
No, wait. Okay. Now it's time for questions with Violon.
Oh my God.
Do it.
Time for questions with Violon.
Jesus Christ, Violon, hurry the fuck up. Okay.
That was so cute.
no.
Oh my God, that was so cute.
Tea or coffee?
Both, really. Tea, I suppose. I drink more tea than coffee, because if I drink too much coffee, I may have a heart attack and die. Tea has like slightly less caffeine, but yeah, mostly both. Just I'm drinking tea all the time, and coffee only during the mornings and afternoons and evenings. So, tea. Yeah, let's say tea. I also drink a lot of. whatever, just next question, because if you, like, whenever you see that I keep repeating the same thing, just interrupt me. Like, don't be afraid of just saying, okay, whatever, next question, because
Fuck
if you don't
you.
do it, I'm just going to keep doing it. Exactly, see, like that. See, you're
We
learning.
will be nice to you and let you speak. Fuck off. I do need to ask here. Do we still need to do an 8 o'clock hard cutoff time?
We probably should. Like, we could probably run a little long, but I have to do things.
Okay, we'll give it maybe an extra 5 to 10 minutes. So that said, we are halfway through the podcast. So Pencil, it's your time. Go.
Okay. Here we fucking go. We're part of a thing called the Barcast. Barcast is this thing that we have, and we have a link in the chat which you can go to. The Barcast is a chat that we can talk in, and as well in Discord. However, if you want to donate to us, you can do it through Patreon. Patreon, we have a Barcast thing on Patreon that allows us to donate to horses. His name is Big Mac. We give him things. We don't take the money and drink it away. I promise. Here it is as well. Anyway, I'm done.
Okay. Now we're going to questions from Not Enough Coffee because we're not speaking fast enough. Hey, you guys, let's get right into the alcoholism and regret. Number 1. What is the sexiest and least sexy name?
Oh, I actually have a response to this. Like, I'm not going to ramble on this one. Unbelievable. But yeah, the sexiest name that I've ever heard is one guy in a server. I hope he doesn't mind me saying his real name out loud, right? But he was once complaining about how his real name is kind of lame. And then he told me that his name is fucking Edward Lincoln Baker, which is, I swear to God, the greatest name I've ever heard. Edward Lincoln, as in the President Baker. Like, that sounds like a fucking vampire hunter. That sounds like, maybe it's because I'm Spanish and like those names don't exist in here, but that sounds like a vampire hunter in a young adult book. That is fucking amazing.
I thought you were saying his sexy name was Edward Lincoln Bacon.
No, Baker.
Sexy.
It's kind of sexy, but Baker, as in the guy who bakes cakes, right? Lincoln Edward Baker. I would totally fuck
Sounds
somebody
like the
called Lincoln
amalgamation
Edward
of two
Baker.
of the most fucking, like, English names ever.
Yeah,
Like, two of the most English names ever.
absolutely. Also, Maximilian, I know, honestly, Maximilian, and it's like, God, your parents are, either they love you or they fucking hate you, but it's amazing. And the least sexy name is Ross James, like, by far, which is Mr. Number's real name. I just realized that nobody would get
real names. No real names. We do not talk about real names.
Fuck off. I call him Ross all the
Doesn't matter.
care.
No, that's what.
He does not give a
That's
shit
one of
about
our
this.
rules. Jackass, you listen. That's one of our rules.
Oh my God! You pronounced my name right. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to say his name again, but like, I don't call him Mr. Numbers in public ever. Like, we'll be in a random chat with a lot of people who don't know him, and I will just call him by his given name because I just don't give a shit about his privacy, and neither does he. And if he does, I don't care. He's Mr. Numbers. I can do whatever. He can get mad at me. Have you seen how we talk to each other? For fuck's sake, I've seen gay people being straighter than the two of us when we get together in the same fucking room. Yeah,
I really like that from the question of what is the sexiest and least sexy name, we got to, he's Mr. Numbers. I can do anything I want to him.
I can fucking guarantee you that he is listening to the podcast as we speak. And the moment he gets to the part when I yell, I get whatever, I don't give a shit. He's Mr. Numbers. He doesn't care. He's going to start messaging me, and I will read the messages out loud because it will be like a heart, and then I love you, and then you pant, or some variation thereof, and it's going to be.
He's probably going to say exactly that.
I can fucking send you a goddamn shitty ass fucking screen cap of the conversation because he will send me messages at one point if he's listening to this, and you can just post it on the Twitch. I don't care. He doesn't care either. Like,
I actually have a name that I'm supposed to call you now, Sparky.
Oh, fuck off. Come on. Now he fucking messages me. And now, oh no, I told Frater please to call you Sparky. Oh, fuck off. God damn it. No. Fuck. You son of a whore. There we go. Oh my fucking Christ. Yeah, no, Sparky is the name of his dog. Can I say the name of his dog? Is that a real name?
No.
Sparky's fine. Yeah. Sparky's fine.
Sparky, and like...
We just ask that no one say anyone else's real name just for safety's sake. That's all.
Sorry.
But I mean, if you and Mr. Numbers wants to, completely dominate writing help over on Film Fiction Discord. That's your guys' own
No,
business.
he left.
But
He left.
now the next question is, what is the coolest animal to scale up to the size of an actual horse?
The coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse. I will say a cat, but they will probably kill us. So, it's actually a good question.
They just bat you off of bridges.
That's the thing, right? All the animals that I can think of will totally kill us if they were the size of a horse. Like a chicken would totally kill us. A fucking dog totally kill us. A cat totally kill us. A slug, I guess, that would be disgusting.
What about a horse-sized cow?
What about a horse-sized horse, which is just a slightly more horse-shaped horse? You get a slightly, lower than average horse.
So like a horse with Down syndrome.
Is a cow with on the size of a horse? Is that bigger or smaller? I can't remember.
Bigger.
I think that would be bigger.
You can
cows. I hate cows.
You can solve
More
world
milk.
hunger. You can solve world hunger by having horse-sized pigs.
No, look. Cows give you milk. Sorry, I don't know what you were saying. I didn't pay attention. No, cows give you milk, right? But they're the worst fucking animals in the entirety of the world. My father is a veterinarian, right? So when I was a kid, by the way, he's the screen cap. I believe this will happen. So he's the screen cap. You can post it on Twitch. I don't give a shit. My father is a veterinarian, so I saw a lot of cows when I was a kid, and they are horrible. You look at the eyes of a cow, and did you just fucking change my name in the Barcast Discord to Sparky? You son of a you You know what? Fuck it. You're not getting the cow story now. You will forever want.
Okay, then we have to move to the next question. This works well. Okay, number 3. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family and friends assume you had done?
Oh, they would totally think that I was high on cocaine. They would be like, oh, he finally got to, assume that he would just gave it, immediately. That, or I don't know, I just masturbated in public or something like that. The thing is, if I was...
Would they actually think you did that?
No, that's the thing, right? If I got arrested, they probably wouldn't try to guess why, because there's no way to know, but they wouldn't question it. They wouldn't be like, oh my god, what happened? They would be like, of course he got arrested. I'm actually surprised it took this long, because I don't really go outside that much unless they force me to, and they really force me to a lot. But when I do,
Is this because of the horse thing? This is because of the horse thing.
Probably. Oh god. Now that you said it, totally. My father will be. This is because of the little horses. He calls it that. He calls it the little horses because the word pony. I think he chokes on it whenever he says. Are you writing little horses? It's slightly more dignified to him. So he goes like that. But it's actually pretty. I make fun of him.
Are you writing about miniature equines?
He holds a pipe and a scotch in one hand. Are you writing about the little horses?
I'm writing the little horses. So, no, he's actually pretty proud of it. He doesn't like the horses. Sometimes I would lie, right? Oh, you're writing again? Yes. What are you writing? It is not about little horses. And I look at him and I see that he has hope in his eyes. And I go, yeah, Dad, I'm writing original fiction. He goes, good, that is really good, son. I'm really proud of you. And I go, and I keep typing. And then Twilight said, oh, Fluttershy, but I crave your cock so much. Anyway, he does judge a little bit, which is interesting because he's really more supportive than you would think, right? I do get along with my dad really well, and he actually wrote fan fiction when he was younger, so he sort of gets it, right? He sort of understands the whole culture, although, he didn't have internet or anything, so the idea of having an audience is kind of foreign to him. So now and then he will ask me if I have a lot of fans or if they give me money, and I go, yes, Dad, I do have fans. No, Dad, they don't give me money. I am a writer, not a prostitute. And he goes well, there's not that much of a difference. And good point.
It's true.
Good point, but you and I both know that nobody will ever want me, so it's not really a thing. And so you can post the.
When are you and your dad gonna do a collab?
Well, he doesn't know English. So did you just fucking change my name in the Discord channel to Sparky with a lot of fucking hearts and musical notes. You son of a fucking whore.
I wish I could do all that with my dad.
I am going to break you. I swear to fucking God. Who did this anyway? Was it Priest? Was it Milk?
No.
Was it Enigma? Was it Enigma? Did he get salty because I keep saying that he looks like Hitler?
No.
Next question. Next question. How do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza?
Oh, fucking hate that. Like, anything sweet in a pizza is just disgusting. Dude, when I went to Germany this year, they actually had, like, chocolate pizza. Like, you would go to the restaurant and they had, like, pizza with chocolate topping. And I think it was like a dessert, right? You're supposed to eat it like you eat cake. Because it had, like, chocolate and white chocolate and, like, it probably didn't have ice cream because you have to put it in the oven, but it had, like, shit like that, right? And it was just disgusting to me. And there is actually restaurants that I know of in Barcelona, the city where I live, that they serve like pizza with chocolate and bacon. And that sounds like the most disgusting fucking thing I've ever heard of. And pineapple is just that. I have a friend who actually enjoys pizza with pineapple, and he goes, dude, the funny thing is, you eat the pineapple and the pizza and you get the mixture between the sweet flavor and the salty flavor, and they mix together in my mouth, and I go, whoa, well, I really want to puke right now just because of your words. So congratulations on that. You're a really good writer. Fucking disgusting. Disgusting.
You really want a mouthful of saltiness, huh?
You already got that one.
Ah, damn it.
Okay. Okay, cocksuckers. Let's move on to number 5. How prepared are you for Jingle Moss?
Fuck Christmas. That is my honest opinion. Just fuck Christmas. Like, if in all of the chats where I can change my name willfully, my name is Scrooge during Christmas because everybody's changing the fucking names for this holiday shit. I just dislike these holidays a lot because, my family is kind of really big and nobody gets along with anybody. So I had to visit them all, and it's like, okay, I have 5 days to go to 10 houses and visit 20 people. How the fuck am I going to do this without them even meeting? And then you like fucking study for final exams because in Spain you have those in January, so I don't celebrate the holiday. And just fuck these holidays, just fuck Christmas up the arse. Like, it's fucking you go to a fucking supermarket and they just playing the fucking Last Christmas song, which I goddamn hate. Like, you know the song, right? I don't even know who's
I gave you my heart, and the very next day you gave it away.
This year to save me from tears, I gave it to someone special. I'm just humming because I don't want to keep talking about this fucking song, but it is really catchy. So yeah, just fuck Christmas. Just fuck Christmas so hard. I'm also doing this because like in the chat I share with Mr. Numbers, which is how I need to call him. They do karaoke every Saturday, and for one reason or the other, I've never been able to join. So half the chat like desperately wants to hear me singing for one reason or the other, because they do know that I have like musical training. Like I did train how to sing, but my voice is kind of. Yeah, so like you hear my voice. Like I'm not pleasant when I'm singing because I sound like this. But they do want to see if I can reach high notes and shit like that. So I just hummed a little bit. Call it fan service, Some people get naked. I just sing that fucking shitty ass Christmas song. See, and now Mr. Numbers is just sending me the lyrics of that song, like on private message. He's not quoting them. He's just going line by line, like, give me your heart so I can give it away the very next day just to annoy me, just so the beep, beep, beep of the messages, can be heard.
Well, that's fine. We'll go to the next question. We're going to Lieutenant Major Dude now, who says, you sure write a lot of horse words. In your opinion, which one of them is the lowest rated of them all, also known as your worst one?
Wait, my lowest rated story or my worst story?
See, I would say that those are two different things, but they're marked as the same thing. Oh my god!
I can answer to both if you want. I'm sure that the chat is like livid for me listening to, for me talking about this for hours. No, I think that my lowest rated story, that is a hard one because I don't really have any lowest rated stories. Humble bragging here, but I do have like a pretty consistent, good amount of ratings because I don't like to say that I'm a popular writer because I'm kind of not. I do have followers, but I'm more like a niche kind of guy. Niche. How do you pronounce that word? Niche.
Niche.
Is it niche?
Nacho.
Niche, yeah.
Nisha is the philosopher, I think. So it's like niche. Well,
yeah.
whatever. You understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, no. So I don't have a lot of fans, but the ones I have are really loyal. So like most of the stories that I post are going to be read by a minimum amount of people who, in my opinion, are enough for me to say that they are not low rated. If you ask me which story I wish had a better rating or like more views or more likes, I would probably say one story called Crime and Punishment, which is one of my few long stories. It's like I think seven chapters, and it's like fucking Ross is sending me, Mr. Numbers is sending me like goddamn messages, and it's distracting me. Son of a fucking oh yeah, Lixa Durnov. Okay, I do have some low rated stories. Anyway, yes, no, what I was talking about. Sorry, I distracted myself. I forgot my point. Yes, low rated stories. I have one long story called Crime and Punishment, which took me like 7 months to write or something like that, and it got a really good reception, but it could be better, I suppose. I would like it if that one got like a crazy good reception, like Enigma's last story, apparently. So let's say just that one, Crime and Punishment. As in, which one is my worst story? God, fuck. Like, you need to understand, when I joined this fandom, I didn't really know how to write in English, and I was also really fucking stupid, which didn't change that much, but at least I'm self-aware now, so I can say, if I say that I am stupid, I don't sound as stupid as when I think I'm smart. So my first stories are all fucking horrible. I have actually deleted a couple of them. But like, if you go to one story called Twilight Sparkle Leaks at Durnov, that is fucking terrible. That is my worst story by far, because it's not even a story, it's me struggling to learn the language and to try to say something in English, and you can really tell that. Like, it's clearly written by somebody who doesn't know how to speak the language and who doesn't have an editor, so it's kind of all over the place. Also, narrative-wise, it's not a story, it's just words together. Like, it's just a wall of words. It's fucking horrible. Just any of my early stuff, most of my early stories are like horrible by any kind of measure. So just pick all of them, really. Until Daring Dawn, which is my first very popular story, I was a non-entity in film fiction because I was really not writing. I was practicing English to, actually learn the language. So it was horrible. I only started telling stories from Daring Dawn on, because that's the one that actually made me quote unquote like popular in the fandom. That's the one that got me to over 100 followers. It has over 2,000 likes too. I think it's nearing 3,000. So it's like, yeah, it was like my first big hit, my first big hit. So from that point on, I actually knew how to speak in English and how to write in English to a point, and I could actually write stories and they would get good ratings. But till then, everything is fucking garbage. You speak any of those. So see, I managed to answer the questions in like a minimum amount of time. Although I do see that the guy asked me how much I hate his current avatar. Oh god, he's a Sparity shipper? God, fuck this guy. Okay. End of the question.
All right, we're going to go down to questions from Explosions then, who starts by saying, number 1, hey, Aragon, do you remember me?
No. I have no fucking idea who this guy is. He's not even following me. Who is this guy? Is he from chat or something?
I have no idea.
I'm sorry for him, but I have no idea who he is. I'm really bad with names, to be completely honest, though. Like, I once managed to forget my mother's name, which I think has to be some kind of Guinness record, because she's my fucking mother, and I still forgot her name. So, yeah, don't take it personally.
Number 2, eggnog, yes or no?
Never tried it, so I'm going to say no, just to spite him.
All right. Number 3, in the last 7 days, your life has.
Question. Sorry. I was congratulating on
you did a good job
being fast. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Number 3, in the last 7 days, your life has gone to shit. You've lost your job, your bank account got hacked, your parents forced you to move out, and all you've had to eat for the last 3 days is a week-old innards of a roadkill cat. It seems like all is lost, and like even the gods have left your side. But then, as if it were a miracle, a light in the dark. Alex Jones walks up to you. Alex, is that the
Jesus
guy?
Christ. Keep reading.
Who the fuck is Alex Jones? Yeah, sorry, keep reading.
Walks up to you in the dark of your alleyway and says, "Hey, brother, you ready to fight the good fight?" What do?
Okay, so this is a multi-part question. First of all, Alex Jones, right? Second of all, why are all the questions in this podcast so weird. Like, you get people who actually ask questions, but then you get the guy who is like, would you fuck a corpse in 500 words? And you go, sorry, which, I mean, it's funny, it does give you an identity, but also, who the fuck is Alex Jones? And also, no, it's funny because this guy, like, except for, let me talk. Except for the cat thing, he pretty much described my last birthday. So I actually know what I will do in this situation. I would cry, and then I would cry some more, and end of the question, I suppose. Now you can talk.
Alex Jones is the main personality for InfoWars, a very right-leaning political show.
It's so parody.
If it's political, we're stopping now.
We are. That's the point. We're not going. This is not even becoming a conversation. We're not going to talk about InfoWars. We're moving on to number 4.
Yeah.
Last but not least, I would like to have a serious, thought-provoking question. So, if you ever came across someone who had lost all hope and their life was at their absolute shittiest, what advice would you give them to keep going?
See, this is another funny question because this is actually what I do every single time that I look in. So what I do is to cry, and that's about it, to be completely honest. End of the question. I mean, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm just a speaker. Like, in reality, I would just start talking about nothing because that is what I do. Not because he's sad, just because there's a person in front of me and, oh my God, there is somebody in the room. I need to start getting words out of my mouth. Otherwise, they will start to fill up my brain and I will probably explode or die. So I just, I would just start talking about fucking oranges or whatever.
I imagine that in Spain or wherever you live, you sell ShamWows.
Absolutely. My sister fucking hates because one of the bad things about being a speaker and a fast speaker and never shutting up is that sometimes you get lost or you don't know what to talk about. Like you finish all your topics, you end up without any theme to talk about. So I've been listening to a podcast that gives you like 4 random facts a week, and my sister fucking hates it because now whenever I shut up because I have nothing else to talk about, there's like 5 seconds of silence, and I go, did you know that there are tennis balls for women, and then tennis balls for men, and they are slightly different? Not many people know this, but actually, and I just start talking, I can actually explain to you what is the difference between tennis balls for men and tennis balls for women, but I'm pretty sure that nobody gives a shit, so you can continue to the next question now, I suppose.
Let's move on to questions from Tumer.
Okay. It's in the flash, by the way. Men tennis balls are fluffier, so they are slower. Sorry. because so many male tennis players, do the power service when they start. And if they gave them like lighter balls, they would be fucking unstoppable, and it would be impossible to play the game. So they slow the game down a little bit when men are playing. So if you play against Serena Williams, who does a pretty good power service, and you're a woman, you're fucked up because they are going to be using, women's balls, and you're not going to be able to reply to her service. Anyway, yes, next question.
Justin, women have balls.
Let's set women's balls aside and get to Tumer's questions for Edrogan. Number 1, how much do you normally write in one single setting?
It really depends between sitting and because of NaNoWriMo, which I have never tried, but it's actually pretty kick-ass if you can do it. I wrote between 2,000 words and 3,000 and 4,000 words in one sitting. That tends to be my average if I'm really trying or if I'm on a roll. Sometimes it's a little less, but usually 1,000 words in one sitting is not really hard for me. I can easily get to 4,000 words in one sitting. My record is 11,000 words in one sitting, which I thought was impressive, but then fucking Purple Pros wrote like 18,000 words in one sitting and demolished my record. Fuck me, I suppose. But yeah, between 2,000 and 4,000 or 5,000 words.
Okay.
I write a lot, actually.
Tumer's next question is fuck, marry, kill between Trixie, Sunset, and Glim Glam.
I haven't watched enough of Starlight Glimmer to actually reply to this perfectly. I mean, everybody wants to fuck Sunset, right? It's the thing. absolutely everybody, and Trixie is a total cunt. So I would probably marry Trixie, because if I'm going to be married to somebody who's not Mr. Numbers, I rather them be a cunt, so they remind me to Mr. Numbers. So that will be Trixie. Sunset is just I honestly think that the only reason why Equestria Girls is not demonized anymore is because fucking everybody wants to have sex with Sunset Shimmer. Like, for no real reasons. It's just, I suppose she's hot or something. I don't give a shit. So fuck Sunset, just to be part of the crowd, to be one of the popular kids for once, and then kill Glimmer because I don't know anything about her. And if I'm going to kill somebody, I'd rather kill somebody I don't know, so I don't that. Yes, next question, I suppose.
Threemer then asks, do you think ponies in fanfic should be based on real equine anatomy?
No. They're magical, technicolor little horses, okay? Like, they have horns in their heads that shoot lasers. Like, once you go there, or they have wings, or they are Applejack. So once you go there, right, you can't really be anatomically correct. I understand that some people really like that. I understand that some people are like crazy into horses. So they go, oh my God, wouldn't it be great if, like, say, Twilight stuck a potato up Rarity's asshole to make her more lively, which is a thing farmers do to sell their horses. And they think that is a great idea, and they write a fanfic, and you go, okay, I see the appeal, but not really. Horses are weird and like scary, strange. So rather not, because like they work better as a mixture between human and horse, I believe, because it's fun to have them be horses. In a sense, it adds a little bit of flavor, right? The fact that they are not human, that they have slight differences in their society is what makes the show so fun. Sometimes, or what it used to make the show fun. I mean, it's still fun, but this element, I think, has disappeared a little bit. I don't think the show is worse because of it. I do think, however, that things have changed. Back in season 1 and season 2, the ponies would use their mouths for everything. As the show went along, they use their hooves more often, or magic, or they just do weird shit, and you can see more modern stuff in the show instead of this weird medieval fantasy. What was the question? Oh yeah, right. No, yes. No. See, I'm self-aware, believe it or not. I do want that if I way too much. If I ramble way too much, people are going to stop listening. So I try to stop myself, But yeah, I would say that you need to hit a balance with this. There is a lot of value in writing genuine genuine horse anatomy in your fanfiction. And if you're into it, absolutely do it. But I do think that it's not something that you should do, as in you must do it, right? Something that if you want to, you can do it. But if you read a fanfic in which the author didn't really bother with horse facts in the story, I don't think it's fair to accuse them of not having written a good story. I think it really depends on the author, but it should be totally a person. Like politics, which we are not supposed to discuss in here, which is kind of a shame, because it would be great to go political in the middle of a fucking My Little Pony podcast. Like, God, that is the most internet thing that I can think of. I swear to, that is the single most internet.
I would talk about fictional horse politics, but not actual politics.
I would talk about fucking Spanish politics. You don't understand shit. That would be hilarious. It would be just me ranting for 3 hours about stuff you don't understand or care about. Exactly.
All I do is just laugh at Catalan. That's it.
Okay, but yeah, let's not talk about politics. So next question.
Short Skirts and Explosions asks, what doth life?
What doesn't it, I suppose? What does this mean? I'm Spanish. I don't know Old English. What doth life? What does life? What is life?
What is it? What does it?
What? Oh, fuck. Do you want a funny answer or deep philosophical answer that takes 7 hours to say? Because
I want the funny, please.
It's skirts.
Aragon, if you're giving us the 7-hour version, I can wait 5 minutes for you to go through it.
No, you know what is life? That is a good question, like, fuck, I'm going to the philosophical one, apparently. Okay, let me think of a joke, because I haven't actually read the questions before this, except for 2 of them, so I actually hadn't thought of a joke for this, and I'm not bad at improv, I suppose. Life is whatever happens before you die. I don't fucking know. It's Short Skis and Explosions. He's not going to be listening to this. He's going to be busy writing another 70,000 words story that would make people angry because, you know, a story, oh, I got a private message.
It's probably from Short Skirt saying, "I'm listening. What's wrong with you?"
that would be hilarious, but sadly, it's actually Major Dude asking me what my opinion is on blank comments. Well, I can't read them, so I suppose nothing. It's a weird.
Anyway.
I think it's something he asked. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Also, chat, I would ask that you not private message our guest with additional questions. Thank you.
Feel free to ask
After the cast.
The podcast is over. You know, the first time I went to a podcast, I went to the Serial Angels podcast, which I think are friends of yours, right? They're nice people.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, as soon as the podcast ended, like immediately, I'm talking fucking immediately, 3 seconds after it ended, I got a private message of a girl asking me what my sexuality was, because she wasn't quite sure just because of the podcast. And it was the single most weird thing I've been asked in a long time. Like, sorry, what? Yeah, apparently because the ring that I wear on my right hand might mean something or some other. But it's just a random stranger asked me about my sexuality because she had seen me in a podcast and she was like, this guy is not straight. Like,
She was hot for that dick, man.
It wasn't like her being hot. I mean, it was like strangeness, like confusion, like. But oh look, somebody in the podcast is now asking what my sexuality is. Well, wouldn't you like to fucking know, guy? Anyway.
All right, we'll move on to questions now from Tony Montana, who asks, "What is your verbal WPM?"
No fucking idea. Actually, you can tell me better than me because I listen.
All right. I'm gonna butcher your native language for the next question. So,
it's going to be incredible.
¿Cuál lengua puedes hablar más rápido?
Oh my god.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
What
I
tongue?
can actually understand you. Which tongue can? Yeah, which language? Language in Spanish can be said as tongue. You know, when you talk about your mother tongue, like the word tongue, lengua, in Spanish means Spanish. Definitely. When I speak in Spanish, I actually talk way faster because I don't stumble upon the words like I do in English. Like I don't stutter a little bit, right? I don't have to stop.
O sea, hay que hablar en español ya, para que no entiendan ellos rápido.
Oh Dios mío, ¿puedes hablar en español? Oh
Sí.
Dios mío, no tenía... Es verdad, me habías...
Ok, yo no quería hablar tan rápido así, pero...
Hombre, hablas también bastante rápido. No sé si estás hablando rápido ahora porque estamos en el podcast o estás hablando rápido porque simplemente...
Yo no entiendo qué estamos diciendo, pero podemos decir más rápido.
No tienes una mierda de lo que estoy diciendo. Sí. Sí. Yeah. Don't make me don't make me switch languages though, because if you start speaking in Spanish and then to start speaking in English and then Spanish again, eventually you get them mixed up, and I might start speaking in Spanish to you guys without realizing. This has happened to me a couple times before.
Perdóname, señor. Actually, the next question is, which is, ¿puedes usarla para construirnos aún más? And so basically, I think you just did that for us a little bit.
Pretty much. Can you use this to confuse us a little bit more? Yeah, we spoke in Spanish just to confuse you. Actually, what Enigma was saying. Oh, okay. Yeah.
¿Dónde está la biblioteclia?
Biblioteclia?
Biblioteclia!
Oh my
god.
The next question is, what number would you rate Mr. Numbers?
Oh, he's a 10 out of 10, the fucking asshole. Like, I will give him a 1 out of 10 just to be a dick banana. He's my best friend, like, period. Like, not on the internet, like, period right now. So yeah, I will give him a 10 out of 10. You know, we actually had the idea, Ross and I, of on these April Fools of this year, to post a blog post in which we said, okay, you know what, fuck it, we're coming out of the closet, we are actually dating. Like, you know, all those times that you jokingly said that we were in love, yeah, those are true. Like, we are actually dating. And I had to stop him because I was like, dude, as hilarious as this joke would be, I am so sure that nobody will take it as a joke. Like, they would absolutely think it's true. Like, and the thing is, my family website and really but they can do it now and then, and they know about the blogs and shit, and sometimes they read it. Like, if they see a blog in which I say with a straight face, I am dating this Australian guy, they wouldn't even question it. It would be like, well, I guess that explains something about you. So, like, I'd rather not have that conversation, like, because they would fucking believe it. But yeah, we were actually going to do that, but I stopped him because, like, nobody would think it was a joke, was the problem. It was too realistic a joke. So yeah, 10 out of 10, a fucking asshole. He's going to message me, like, something about this later, like, when he hears this. And to be like, oh, you gave me a 10, you're so sweet, or something like that. Anyway, next one, I suppose.
Okay.
If you get me talking about
We're going to go to Sunbro for Life, whose next question is, what's your favorite video game?
Oh, Shantae. Absolutely. Fucking absolutely. Like, I have no idea why, because they are not that good, to be completely honest. I just find them so goddamn cute. Holy shit. Like, the Shantae games, right? I started with the first one, and I remember playing, because the first game, but not for the game for the Game Boy Color, but for the computer. There are 3 games out for the computer right now, and the first one is like mediocre, virgin on bad, right? I was playing it, Risky's Revenge is called, and you're playing it, and I was like, this is not that good. So why am I so into it? Like, even then I could tell that I was like really into the game, and this is not that fun a game. So why do I like it so much? And I think it's just the aesthetics and the way that it's so colorful and shit. And the second one is a masterpiece, and the third one is amazing. I just love the Shantae series. I'm not even being funny or sarcastic here. I genuinely do like this shit. Problem is, I do have a small tendency in real life, and this is something that I've written about, and like most of my friends, ask anybody who's ever been in a Discord chat with me, and they will tell you that it's true. I have a tendency to accidentally find porn, right? Like, I'll be reading a comic, and then, oh, it's porn, I was like, oh, I've been reading a porn comic all this time. This explains all the fucking, I suppose. Or I'll be watching a show, and like, it's porn, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, this is interesting. So Shantae was a great game, and then I started the second game of the trilogy, and it's not porn, but it's like definitely softcore something. And I was playing it, and I was like, is this pornographic too? It's not pornography. It's obviously for everybody. But like, you play, some of the chapters in that game are like kind of risque. They try to go the sexy cute angle, and they forget to add the cute. So I was playing. I was like, this is way more titties than I was expecting for a cutesy platformer for 3-year-olds. And now I'm seeing, now I'm seeing asses. Well, I suppose this is my life now. But yeah, still, the Shantae series is incredible, even if it's really pornographic sometimes.
Speaking of pornography, what's your favorite boss fight?
Boss fight? No fucking clue, I don't play them. I do play Dark Souls, which is, I think, what this guy is into, because he's called Sam Bro for life. And in Dark Souls, my favorite boss fight was probably the Open Dragon. I don't know what's it called. The dragon that you fight in the sewers.
The gaping vagina dragon.
Yeah, the gaping, but yeah, exactly. I was going to say because
there's actually a boss dragon that looks like a vagina.
Yeah, and the saddest thing, Anon, I'm really sorry, but I don't like. Do I call you Anon or Pencil? Pencil, right? The thing is,
yeah.
Pencil is cuter. Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I don't like the boss fight because it's like fair or fun. I like it because it looks like a vagina. So I was giggling while fighting. I was like, vagina dragon. Like,
it has teeth also.
Here, no, this is the vagina dragon.
It even has teeth like a real vagina. See, like every single.
So I'm assuming then Aragon has never actually seen a vagina in person.
You would be surprised. You will be surprised. Maybe you haven't seen a vagina in real life.
Pencil, is that what a Klingon vagina looks like?
On vagina doesn't have teeth. It just crushes your dick by sheer force of will. So I don't know actually.
Sounds like your mother, all right. Okay.
Oh.
Next question.
Holy shit! You just got cyberbullied.
All right, I feel so hurt.
Well, don't tell me vaginas don't have teeth. You're breaking a myth for me right here. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Next question is: you are in Small Poneberg. What business do you start?
In Small Pomberg, I assume, is a cute way to say Ponyville.
Yes.
That is a good thing to ask, because I actually do have legal I'm a lawyer in training, by the way, in case you couldn't tell by the fact that I never shut the fuck up.
Oh,
And I am
yeah, that
impossible to understand. That explains so many things, right? I'm also an economist. I'm studying 2 degrees at the same time, actually. So one of those. But the problem is, right, this is like a small town for magical, colorful horses. And I'm a random dude with legal training from a country that in this world doesn't exist. So I probably just start nothing and starve because I have like no valuable skills to apply to a society like Ponyville, at least to the Ponyville that is in my mind. I could be a bureaucrat. I think I would be a wonderful bureaucrat. You know, the kind of boring guy that you go to the bank and he's like, no, sir, I cannot give you the loan because you didn't present paper 3BCS. You have to go to the office in North Canterlot and ask for Silvertail, and he will give you the. And then he spends like 3 hours giving you this. Yeah, exactly. I will be that guy.
Are you gonna invent the card just so you can make the DMV and be the guy behind the desk?
Yes, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. You know, the guy who's like, sorry, but no. I will do that. I will probably do that. Just because, you know, if I'm going to be miserable, you're going to be miserable with me, you motherfuckers. I'm going to teach these ponies the meaning of depression right here and right now. And just have bureaucracy just to fuck with them. Okay, next question, I suppose.
All right, we're going to go to questions from Hymnos, who's being cheeky to you. Are you capable of answering this question in a single word?
He can't, ain't he? Okay, see, this is not a good answer. Right? See, the thing is, we have 2 options here. I can say yes, and then we move on, which is the expected punchline. Or I can say no, and then we move on, which is just like the less expected punchline. Or I can say no, and then go on a rant on the idea of how speaking a lot has become sort of its punchline by itself. But the thing is, if the punchline of the joke is the fact that I don't shut up, then the joke can't really work unless I am talking for a feasible amount of time, say 30 or more seconds. But if I'm doing that, then by definition, the joke can only be funny if I speak so long that it actually stops being funny at one point. So here we have a small conundrum, right? Because the only real way to make
your eye
joke
like a
funny
big pizza pie
is to actually make it not funny by design. But if you're not being funny, then you truly be busy as a comedian. So here's the thing, right? I need to be.
much wine.
Davis needs to make this a montage.
That's amore.
I need to be unfunny in a funny way to answer this. Is the moral of the story. So I'm going to say no. Next question.
Okay. Lazy Claire now has questions. Will you go to Galacon?
God, I would love to, but I'm fucking poor, so I don't know if I will be able to. Maybe I'll be working. I think that I want to try to go to Galacon because Mr. Numbers might be there. And some people that I like too will be there, like Lise, for example. Lise, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Lise. Like Lise.
It's lies.
Lise
Claire.
Lies. Yeah, but it's French, Lise Claire, right? Like the name sounds French, so I pronounce it in French, which is Lise. Like this motherfucker.
Not lies.
Okay, this motherfucker. Yeah. Like just this motherfucker. They just called him up. He. So that would be cool. And Mr. Numbers might be there, and Ferret might be there, and I think Ghost of Heraclitus might be there, and that would be amazing. Apparently he's like super tall, so he will make me feel dwarfed, both intellectually and physically, which is going to be an experience. A lot of people that I want to see are going to be there. The thing is, every summer I go to, like, I have 2 friends, right? One from Germany and one from Hamburg. And we meet every year during summer. And every summer we go to a different country. So one summer we'll go to Germany, then one summer we'll go to Hungary, then one summer they will come to Spain, and then the cycle repeats. So next summer, when Galacon happens, we are scheduled to come here to Spain. They are supposed to visit me. So I shouldn't be able to go to Germany because I will be busy with that. But if I can make time, I would absolutely love to go to Galacon. I would need money. I don't know how I would get it. Maybe if I get a job or something, I will be able to save up enough to do that because it would be amazing.
You know, crime is always an option.
Crime is always an option. Illegal is always faster. But that is what my mother used to say before they killed her in prison. So it's
What the fuck?
really that was a joke. Anyway, my mother is alive and not in prison. You were supposed to laugh there, but I did. I fucked up the delivery. Okay, not every joke can be like Hymnos question, which is like an immediate gold coin, gold medal joke. No, yeah, I would love to be there, but I don't know if I would be able to. I would totally try though, because Mr. Lampers is going to be there, and if we're going to be slightly homoerotic, better to do it, in real life than over the internet, because it's way less pathetic, if you ask me.
Aragon, it's been like an hour and a half since you took a breath.
I actually, this is something that I actually learned how, though I don't really do it often. You know what circular breathing is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I actually had to learn how to do that to play the oboe, because some songs were so fast that we couldn't really stop to breathe. So they were like, you need to learn how to do circular, so you don't need to stop to breathe. But yeah, I spent most of my formative years strengthening my lungs, so I didn't need to stop to breathe as often as other people do, which is why I can start speaking and never shut the fuck up. And if I do need to, I can always do it with my nose instead of with my mouth, I suppose. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Next question.
Okay, I'm going to move to questions from RB-47. What's the shortest time?
Sorry. I was just saying, good old 47, which adds nothing to the conversation, but I like to talk even when I don't need to talk. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, fuck you. What's the shortest time you've gone from story conception to publication, and the longest time?
The shortest time has been like 0 seconds. Well, okay, no, from conception, not from writing. I have stories, and I mean a lot, where I literally just go, I'm going to write this, and then I write it, and then I publish it, like in one go. Usually because of spite, right? Most of the time somebody will tell me something like, come on, you can't write that. And I will go, I can't write that. And then 3 hours later, I send them like a 4,000 word story and I go, suck my cock. And also proofread this, please, because I need somebody to check the typos. And then I publish it. So like I've written a lot of stories in one go. So I would say the shortest you can be like 3 hours, let's say, because I spent 3 hours writing it, or 2 hours. I guess. The latest write-off has an entry by me, which I wrote in 2 hours and a half or something, and I literally only wrote it because Majin Siko came to me and was like, come on, you can do it. You have 12 hours left. Come on. And I was like, I can say no to that. So I just, started writing. So really, small amounts of time, because I write a lot and I write really fast. So if I put my mind to it, I can actually produce a lot of content.
You could write even faster if you turn on your speech to text thing.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would absolutely love to have a fucking speech to text, but this is a little bit funny, I suppose, in a mean way. I can't use those because they don't understand my accent. So I actually can't.
Yeah, it's your accent.
Yeah, like the computer goes, sorry, what? And it's like way faster to type it.
Okay, I'm going to grab this opportunity to go to the next question, which is from Totally Not a Brony. And he says that he has a friend who cosplays Pyrrha, which I'm assuming is the character from Ruby. That is obviously always by your avatar. Have you had the chance to try Pumpkin Pete's Marshmallow Crunch?
I haven't, because it's not really a thing in Spain. I would probably not do it if I have the chance, because Marshmallow Crunch, I am seeing the picture right now, and it's this weird American fucking cereal thing you have, where there's like the actual cereal and then some fluffy things that look like candy that look honestly disgusting. How can you eat this without puking first thing in the morning? I don't understand this. It's like Lucky Charms. I think that Lucky Charms also have
that's the real thing. Yeah, marshmallows.
Yeah, and that looks honestly disgusting.
They're also fake marshmallows. They're not real marshmallows.
Yeah, but it's mostly sugar, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how can you eat that without getting, like, nausea? I'm being serious. Like, when you eat something so sweet, I cannot eat that much sugar in one go, especially for breakfast. If it's chocolate or something I can, but like this, I will be like, because it's way too sweet.
It's like, easy. We start integrating it into children's food at a young age, so that way they're able to eat more and more progressively bad for you food as they grow up. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next question from Fan of Most Everything. who says,
that was
firstly,
everything. What the fuck is wrong with this guy's avatar? What the flying fuck is wrong with his avatar? I'm looking at it. Why is he red?
he starts by saying, firstly, if you manage to get this far in the allotted time, then kudos to Aragon for his restraint. Secondly,
Thank you. I am actually restricted so much. Holy shit! Like I'm actually stopping myself so fucking often. You cannot understand how hard it is for me to do this, because more often than not, I'm like stopping my rambling in the middle of it, and I go, okay, whatever. Next question, and there's like 2 seconds of silence. Do you have any idea how hard it is for me to listen to more than 1 second of silence without immediately jumping in to say something? Because
I have no idea, but I tell you what, he has the most important question here, because we all have got to know. You haven't been saying anything on your blog, so he's just going to come out and ask it. Has there been any update on the prostate stimulating dog wanker?
Oh fucking Christ! This guy is going to be my legacy. Yeah, that's the thing, right? The dog jacking guy. I've seen him a couple more times. I recognize his face, but he wasn't walking any dog. Which begs and he's my neighbor, right? So I haven't met him at the stairs.
Can you, for the cast, explain the dog wanker story a little bit?
Oh my fucking god! Yeah, I should do that. Okay, I recently moved to a new house in Barcelona because I was under the foolish impression that moving to Barcelona was going to mean that I will have a quieter life. If you have ever turned on the TV for the last 3 months, you will know that I am a fucking idiot and the universe wants to remind me every so often. Anyway, I moved to Barcelona and I have a new house. And the very first night that I spent here, I woke up, and it was like, fucking fairy tale morning, that one. Like the sun was shining, the temperature was perfect, and I got up off the bed and you could faintly hear Vivaldi's spring in the background, like, well, no, that's not Vivaldi's spring, like, ding, 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 and I will get up, and stretch myself, and I look out the window, like dreamy expression in my face, and I can clearly see that my neighbor is masturbating a dog under my window.
Amazing.
And I look at it. No, yeah. And it's like total silence. And like I'm still, and I'm like sitting there, standing there, stretching, and I'm looking at it, and I go, what the fuck? And the dog is like a white, I think it looked like a Shiba Inu, this Japanese dog? It looks similar, but it wasn't that. I think it was like some kind of breed that, like, it looked like it had parts of Shiba Inu in it, and it was completely white. It was kind of a cute dog. And the dog was like completely still and looking at the wall, looking in my direction. I was like facing the dog, right? Completely still. His tail was frozen in the air. His eyes were showing like this weird absent determination that animals have, and I was like, that dog has seen some shit. And the guy was crouching behind the dog, like professional expression on his face. He looked like a man on a mission. He was clearly but gently masturbating the dog. Okay, like the hand will go up and down in a circular motion, but he wasn't like harsh about it. He did it with care. I was like, this is not this guy's first rodeo. He's a pro at jacking off this dog, because he did it like, oh my god, he knew the dog's G-spot. I can tell you that. I was like super carefully, super. It was like poetry, like poetry in movement. It was incredible. Professional and like efficient. Not a moment was wasted. It was like he never stopped it, he never changed the rhythm. It was like perfect sense of rhythm. Bam, 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 bam. Incredible.
Is this what fucking goes on in Catalonia?
And his thumb, his left thumb, because he was jacking off the dog with the right hand, his left thumb was inside of the dog's asshole. He masturbated the dog, right? And I just stood there watching, and honest to God, I was half asleep, right? This woke me up immediately, but I have no idea what it was, and I have no idea how much time I spent looking at this dog. Like, it might have been like an hour, it might have been just 30 seconds, I don't know. I just stood there, I didn't move, they didn't move. I think none of us blinked at any point, and then suddenly it was over, like the dog jacked, and the guy was like, yeah, and he put up, he stopped grabbing the dog's penis, and then he sort of waved his hand in the air to sort of clean it, and then he took out his thumb, it was perfectly clean, it was long and incredible, and then the dog just shook its head a little bit, crouched, and took a shit. And then the owner just produced a paper bag from his pocket and then picked up the shit and then just walked away. He didn't even look at the dog. He didn't say anything to the dog. The dog didn't have a leash. He just walked away, and the dog just followed him, and they never looked at each other. And I was like, those two are on a fucking journey. And like, I think I just became a man right now. I honest to God think that this has changed me forever. And I was like, and I actually, the first thing I did was to go to wash my face and to just go outside and take a walk to sort of try to understand what had just happened. Like, it just the same thing. And then I took out my phone and I messaged Mr. Numbers and I was like, I just saw the most horrible thing. I think I just became a man right now. Like, he was like, dude, what happened? Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I got up and I looked at the window and like, I saw something that cannot be described with words. I think I have changed myself forever. And he tried to guess what had happened. Like, what? Did this happen? Did that happen? And he actually got really close. And he actually was your neighbor fucking somebody and looking you dead in the eye while doing so? And I was like, how are you? Like, how did you do this? Like, basically, you are so close and yet so far. It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah, that was horrible. It was one of the most traumatic events in my life. And then after talking to him for a while, I was like, okay, I'm hungry. I just got up. I need to have breakfast. I'm going back to my house and I'm writing a blog. And then I sat down and I wrote a blog about this because I have to share it with people. And that blog has 2 comments with over 30 likes. The first one, with 31 likes, is an explanation of what was probably going on in there. Turns out it is possible that the guy was helping the dog take a shit or something like that, like there was a medical issue. And the second comment is just calling me a pervert. And that second comment has the most likes in the entirety of the blog because my audience fucking hates me.
So, Aragon,
Wait, what did the second comment say?
Second comment said that the second comment just say something like, well, sometimes life is just like that, you know. One day you are top of your class and you have a brilliant life in front of you and a dream job and a dream wife, and next thing you know, you're masturbating a dog and there's some guy's window and the guy is looking at you and he keeps looking. He's not blinking. He must be a pervert. He's probably getting off on this. Like, no sane person will look at this the whole time. And like, that is the most liked comment in the entirety of the blog.
Aragon, when does this?
When did this happen? This happened in October. This happened early October, which is when I moved in here. I think it was the 3rd day of October, 15 days from my birthday.
What I was gonna say was, when does the story start? Because so far all you described was a typical Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
That's actually true.
Okay, I'm going to go to the next question quickly. Who asks, Dustchew, is your name something from Lord of the Rings?
No, it is not. It is not. My name comes from the province of Aragon. This is kind of hard for foreigners to understand because you're all stupid, unlike us Spaniards, because we are superior. But Spain is split into something we call autonomic communities, which is,
right.
think of them as like minor states, like in the United States, right? They are not as independent as states, but they have a little bit of independence, right? And they have like an identity. This is why Spain has 5 official languages. We don't all speak Spanish. We all speak Spanish, but most of us speak more than one language because, you know, some autonomic communities have their own language. Ironically, you know, I come from Aragon. Aragon is the community where I come from. When I was joining the website, I was like, okay, I'm Spanish. I want to have a nick that says that I'm Spanish, but España is kind of weird and nobody's going to write the ñ. So I'm just going to call myself Aragon because I'm from Aragon and that looks good. And also because there is a French poet that I like who's called Louis Aragon, who is one of the creators of surrealism, and I just like the guy, so I just named myself after him, just Aragon. The thing is, ironically, Aragon has its own language. It's not an official Spanish language because not enough people speak it, and it's pretty much dead because nobody speaks Aragonese, and I cannot speak Aragonese. I named myself after Aragon, and I consider myself really Aragonese, but I cannot speak its language because nobody else does it. Thus, if you speak to me in that language, I will be able to understand you because it's really similar to Spanish, but I won't be able to answer in that one. I do speak Catalan, however, which is one of the 5 official languages alongside Spanish, but that is where the name comes from. It's like a stupid kid naming himself Texas because, you know, Mama said that pretty boys don't use their brains. Pretty much.
All right, I'm going to move to a question now from the other guy who then asks, I'm going to post this in our little chat here for you. How does this make you feel?
Okay, give me a behind the counter again. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Is she looking at the birds? Or like medical? Okay, this is a picture. I don't know if the cast is if the people watching the podcast is like seeing this, but it's like a picture of a woman.
Oh, they see it. They can see it. They can see it.
They can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Confusion. I mean, it's well composed. It's well drawn, I suppose. The cheeks look a little bit, you know, goofy. They are not really well drawn, but it's cool, I suppose. Confused, slightly aroused. Is this like a weird way? Well, this is the easiest way to skull fuck somebody and still make it a blowjob. Anyway, yes, no, I don't know. Confused, I suppose. Are her eyes closed? If she opened her eyes, is there going to be mouths behind the eyelids? Like they're gonna go into. Is she feeding the cheeks or is she looking at the cheeks? Like, I feel like there is like a meaning behind it. Not grasp it, or maybe it's just weird shit. There's the thing with modern art, right? Or like abstract art. Like there is a chance that the picture has a deeper meaning and you can try to understand it. Or there is a chance that it's just weird shit. Like when I love Salvador Dali's work. I really like the guy, right? But you look at some of his paintings and you go, you didn't have anything in mind while painting this. Like this other painting, yeah, it's like a study in melancholy, melancholy. You're trying to like represent the idea of missing someone with shapes. And this one is just an elephant fucking a woman. And why did you draw an elephant? Did you draw an elephant fucking a woman? It has no deeper meaning. You just thought, hey, wouldn't it be fucking weird if I drew an elephant fucking a woman? So he drew an elephant fucking a woman. I think this is the same. I think this is less a deeper meaning of, visual, looking at something and feeding it, and she's feeding the chick her eyes, but her eyes and in her mouth, because we only see what we can say and information, and it's just the artist going like, dude, this would be fucking weird, and then they draw it.
I kind of want to.
This actually made me miss Riny the Rhino a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what's the deeper meaning behind the rhino if we show it to him?
Give me a rhino.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly move to RK Striker JK5 because we only got 5 more minutes for the podcast.
What, really?
Yes.
Is it over already? What the fuck, dude? No. I thought we were like halfway through it. Okay, sorry. Yes, good.
Number 4, have you ever expected the Spanish Inquisition?
Oh, come on, fuck off with the meme. No, it's not actually a meme in Spain. It's not actually a meme in Spain because Monty Python quoted time. So not really. It's not a thing. I can ramble, but we have 5 minutes left. So
okay. Vlade now says, just think, you're expected to grow a certain plant a certain way in front of your house, and if you do not take care of it or let it get unruly, your neighbors will call the government on you, who will force you to do it, or they will come do it themselves. Why doesn't anyone question why grass is a thing, Aragon?
Grass is actually, there is a reason why grass exists. The fact that the government would actually go to your house if you don't take care of your grass is kind of hilarious, because it's a thing that only happens in the United States, and I find it like it's inherently funny. But the reason why grass is a thing is twofold. First, it helps with erosion. Actually, it has like a reason to be in there. I mean, when humans started, doing the whole agriculture thing and getting cattle and stuff, grass was useful because it's food. So being able to see grass is, cool for the cows. Also, we developed in a lot of places with grass because grass means water, and water means we can live in there. Plants are good, usually. So that's why most of the sports we play usually use a grass field, when you think about it, like cricket and soccer and shit like that, because we are used to running on grass and it's just naturally pleasant to us. We've been conditioned from early childhood to find grass pleasing. That's a pretty nice color, but it helps with erosion. The road gets way less eroded when there is grass in the way because it stops the wind or some shit like that. That is the useful purpose for streets in towns with grass. Is just that. Also because it looks pretty, and because I think there is like a marketing strategy to it, because if the neighborhood looks nice and we're conditioned to find grass nice, then we would be willing to pay more for a house in there. And also something nobility, something Greece. I think there was a reason why the Elysian fields are supposed to be the grassy fields. It's been always been compared to paradise. So in our culture, grass is seen as an inherently good thing. So that's why we like it, really. That's why grass is such a big part of our lives, because we cannot eat it, but a lot of the important things that we need in life to eat it, right? And it's like a symbol of life and shit, and like a place that has enough water and enough nutrients for us to survive. If there is grass growing on the earth, on the soil, you can probably plant some fucking lettuce in there and then eat it, right? Or you can just chew the grass, I don't know. Or you can just fucking smoke it, whatever. But yeah, grass actually has a lot of usefulness. But mostly it's just decorative. It's just, we're allowed to have pretty things. The government going to your house and punching you because your house is not pretty enough is immediately so American that I'm laughing. But
I'm going to try to cut you off right here because we only have time for one more question.
Okay, sorry.
And I'm gonna do some skipping, and I apologize to Dragonborn Fox. I'm sorry to Mr. Numbers. I'm sorry to Undone Twine, but people in the chat have been talking about this particular question, and I feel like it needs to happen. Aragon, can you tell the story about the Karma Sutra again?
We don't have enough time for it. We really do not have enough time.
Priest.
Yeah.
Ask Mr. Numbers' question. It has been well anticipated, and Aragon mentioned it in a blog post.
All right, then let's go to Mr. Numbers' question.
Is even longer. If I have to the two, fuck. The thing is, the Sailor Moon question, right? Mr. Numbers asked me a really deep cutting question, because when he had the podcast in here not that long ago, I was a total shithead. And I asked him a really difficult question to ask because I wanted to fuck with him and I wanted him to suffer. So it was like, do you watch his podcast to know my question? So he tried to ask me something hurtful just to see me squirm. And he asked me something that is interesting, that is not particularly difficult. And then the motherfucker got the idea of asking me to rank the sailors. The Sailor Shenji from Sailor Moon, the Sailor Scouts from most gay to least gay, and the fucking research I had to do for this, because you need to understand, I grew up in this show, and when I was a kid, I was stupid, and I didn't quite realize who was gay and who was not, but when you look back at the show, and when you look at it now, it's so fucking gay. One of the directors of the show, one of the major influences in the show, was kicked out of the staff because he made the show too gay, which is incredible. Because
he went on to make Utena. If I'm wrong.
Yeah, which is the gayest fucking show you can watch ever. So they are so fucking homosexual, all of them. I swear to God. There is one character who keeps comparing shit to her boyfriend, right? Who keeps talking about her boyfriend, and she's so gay. Even when they try to make it more oh no, they're all at least bisexual. I swear to God. So okay, obviously, the top contenders, I think they were Neptune and Uranus. Uranus is actually a lesbian in that show. It's because they're actually in a relationship. They are actually gay for real. As in the Catalan dub, they based it on the American one, so they actually keep saying that they are cousins. So you are watching the show and they are making out and they are very touchy-feely with each other, but they go, don't worry, we are cousins, so it's okay. And it's oh, so you're not only gay, you're also incestual. That would go by, by the moral police of the show. So those two are the gayest. And then the fucking protagonist is the gayest motherfucker in the entire show. The only reason why Sailor Mars is introduced in the show, and this is the third major character to appear in the show, right, is because Sailor Mercury goes, oh, there is a really hot girl in the bus right now. And then the protagonist is like, fucking show me. And then she just stalks Mars for a while because she finds her cute. Like, so the first two are the one who are in a relationship. Then there is obviously Bunny or Usagi or Sailor Moon, you know, the head of the show. She's totally bisexual. At one point in the show, I swear to God, she is kissing her boyfriend, right? Like, she's the only one who actually has a boyfriend. She is kissing him on camera, and she starts fantasizing about kissing one of her friends, who is obviously a girl, which is like at how did they change that in the dub? I actually don't remember. I've only seen of this, and I have a vague feeling. I actually had to look this up on the internet because I was like, did this happen or did I just imagine it? Because have in mind, I'm working by nostalgia here, right? She actually fantasizes about somebody else while kissing her boyfriend, and she is fantasizing one of her female friends. One of her biggest love interests in the show is a woman, or actually it's an intersex character, because she becomes a he and then a she, depending on which transformation she's in, and the protagonist just wants to fuck them both. She's like, dude or Dudette, I'm going to fuck you both. Like, I don't care. Totally gay. Okay, third one is really, really difficult because I guess it would be Venus because she's the sailor of love, right? And she's like, fucking whatever. Like, just Venus. When you're into that, just fucking think Cadence or Rarity. Total fucking, you know, like easy women. Sorry?
Ha.
Ah, you're laughing. Sorry, I thought that you were Cat, and I was like, did you just stop my rumble in the middle of the Sailor deep analysis? You know, this is like Sailor Moon. Okay, so Venus should be the third one. I think. I am pretty sure she should be. But then it gets tricky because which one goes now? Mars, Mercury, or Saturn, right? Pluto. It should be Pluto. It should totally be Pluto. It should totally be the android because and the daughter of the protagonist. Because everybody till now has been lesbian, bisexual, and now the protagonist has a daughter. Okay. At one point in the show, time travel happens, and the daughter's protagonist comes to the present, and she's a little kid, and she wants to fuck her own dad because this is Japan, and that's how they do stuff. Yeah, she wants to fuck her own. Yeah, there is never a real love triangle, right? Because she's like 5 years old or 8 years old, but she gets jealous whenever her mother and her father are like together, and she tries to flirt with her dad. Because she wants to fuck him because this is Japan and this is how they go. I think they try to pass it out as, oh, you know, like how little kids sometimes they say, oh, I want to marry dad. Well, because they've been so much. And yeah, it can be cute, but they don't make it cute. They make it awkward. So she's into at least her father. But then she has like an entire fucking subplot with Sailor Pluto. So Sailor Pluto and her are like pretty fucking merry. At one point at the end of the show, they walk away together hand by hand, and the father of the girl is like, I feel like I just gave her hand out in marriage. Like, those two are canonically about to get married, were linked by fate or something. So Chibiusa, Sailor Moon's daughter, and Sailor Pluto, totally a thing. So that's the third and the fourth. And then the next one would be, I suppose, this is a conundrum, because on the one hand, which I have always considered one of the most lesbian characters in this show, which is saying a lot. But that's the thing, she's kind of boy crazy for the first half of the show. She's kind of the tomboyish one, think Rainbow Dash, you know? Like, she's... Are you even here right now? Am I even talking to you?
Yeah, no, we're here.
Okay.
We're here. I have no input, and I've never even watched Sailor Moon, so.
Well, now you can watch it with major. Anyway, yes, no. Mars is kind of boy crazy, but she's the tomboy, and as the show goes on, she's kind of lesbian-ish. But then you have Mercury and Jupiter, who are not really that much of a lesbian. You know, Jupiter had a boyfriend, and she keeps talking about it. But they get shipped together pretty hard. Like, at first, it starts with soft shit. Like, you know, there is a dance in town, and, you know, nobody invited them, so they go together, and they dance, and they make out, and it's like, friends do that. But then, as the show goes on, they get a couple, not a lot, because most of this is subtext, except when they literally say, yeah, I am fantasizing about fucking this girl when I'm fucking this guy, then it's not subtext, and the character is canonically at least bisexual. It's mostly subtext, but they get shipped together a lot. Like, at the end of the manga, when two characters are marrying, they're like bridesmaids, right? but they're like linking arms and hands, like they are doing this lover pose when they're like really touchy-feely with each other and shit like that along the manga together. They're minor, they're not like super popular, they're not super canon, but yeah, the character was the author was totally fucking shipping them because the author is into lesbians. So those two, and then Sailor Mars, interesting because she's the last one in the ranking, but I always consider her the most lesbian of two that are in an actual lesbian relationship for the entirety of the show. Like all this research that I have to do for this, because this is not from memory. I have to look into this. I have to look at the fucking wiki page of every single fucking character. I have to look like fucking YouTube videos and draw fucking charts and try to measure which one is gayer, you know, because if you're bisexual, is it more gay or less gay than if you're just a lesbian? And you will say, well, Aragon, obviously, by definition, you're more gay because you're not into dudes in this. Yes, but if you are a lesbian, but you're not really into women, you're just into this one, and we don't have any, and you're not like that open about liking women, you're just kind of quiet about it, but if you like one, then okay. And then there is this other girl who keeps talking about how she wants to drown in pussy, only she is also kind of into men. Which one of the two is gayer, right? There is like a degree of subtlety in here that is hard to measure. So I surprisingly think that Sailor Mars is the least gay of the Sailor Senshi. And this was like an actual revelation that I had, like, oh my god, I have always said that she was the gayest one, and she's the least gay of them all. And that says so much about life, man. Never give anything for granted. Because blink of an eye, your life changes completely. And now I have to live in a world where Sailor Mars, whom I always considered the flagship lesbian of the show, is actually the most straight of them all.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That's where we're at, and that's where we need to cut it, guys. So
that is the most in-depth analysis of games.
Thank you for watching the Barcast. Aragon, thank you so much for coming on. No, it was fun this time.
It was fun.
This time it was fun.
Sorry. I'm being snarky. Sorry. Your bartenders for this evening has been Anon Pencil.
I really need to go to the bathroom, you guys.
Enigmatic Otaku.
I'm back, bitches.
Flammenwerfer.
Baba Boopy.
Milk. Ravage.
My brain's leaking out my ears.
We had our wonderful guest, Sparky.
Fuck off.
And my name is Flutterpriest.
I hate you!
And everyone, this.
Oh my god.
And everyone, I would just like to say that this has been another installment of Flutter Priest and the Barcast.